War never changes.
I do not sleep.
Is that a tumor?
It's not a tumor. Sarah Connor, come with me if you want to live.
We haven't much time.
Affirmative.
Good morning, sir. Your coffee.
Stick around.
Oh, sounds like someone made a sticky. I shall attend to young Shaw.
There once was a man named Arnold Schwarzenegger who would save the Commonwealth.
Can you get that?
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
I'm Jangles, the moon monkey. Who are you?
Nice to find you, sir. You can't begin to know how happy I am to finally speak with you. I've been trying for days. It's a matter of utmost urgency, I assure you.
I need to speak to the chem dealer.
Oh, me too. You have no idea. Now, I know you're a busy fellow, so I won't take up much of your time. I'm here today to tell you that because of your family's service to our country, you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault. Vault 111.
I find it adequate.
Oh, it is. Believe you me. Now, you're already cleared for entrance in the unforeseen event of total atomic annihilation. I just need to verify some information. That's all.
I calculate my best course of action would be to hide in Vault 111. Give it to me.
Splendid! Splendid. Now, let's see.
Arnold put in his special attributes.
Wonderful. That's everything. Just gonna walk this over to the vault. Congratulations on being prepared for the future.
He'll live. My mission is to protect you.
Sir, Mum, you should come and see this.
Yes, followed by flashes, blinding flashes. Sounds. Confirmed reports, I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
Get to the chopper.
We love you too.
Hazardous radiation levels detected.
The pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper in the vault. Just relax.
It sucks.
Obey. I'm only going to tell you once.
Talk to the hand.
Get out of here. Let's go. At least we still have backup.
Cryogenic array. All residents must vacate immediately.
Arnold finally got out of his cryopod.
Blah, blah, blah. Consider that a divorce.
He finally left the vault. Arnold knew he needed to find his son, so he wanted to check his old abandoned residential area. And then he ran into fucking Codsworth.
Codsworth,
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's really you.
Codsworth, you are still here. So, other people could still be alive too.
Well, of course I'm still here. Surely you don't think a little radiation could deter the pride of General Atomics International? But you seem the worse for wear. Best not let the wife see you in that state, hmm? Where is the missus, by the way?
You cannot compel me to answer.
Sir, these things you're saying, these terrible things, I believe you need a distraction. Yes, a distraction to calm this dire mood. It's been ages since we've had a proper family activity. Checkers, or perhaps charades. Sean does so love that game. Is the lad with you?
John's been kidnapped, but I'm going to find him. I'm going to get my son back.
It's worse than I thought. You're suffering from hunger-induced paranoia. Not eating properly for 200 years will do that, I'm afraid.
I do not sleep.
A bit over 210, actually, sir. Or give or take a little. for the Earth's rotation and some minor dings to the old chronometer. That means you're 2 centuries late for dinner. Perhaps I can whip you up a snack? You must be famished.
Codsworth, you're acting a little bit weird. What's wrong?
Oh, sir, it's been just horrible. 2 centuries with no one to talk to, no one to serve. I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed, but nothing gets out nuclear fallout from vinyl wood. Nothing! And don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. And the car! How do you polish rust?
Your confusion is not rational.
I'm afraid I don't know anything, sir. The bombs came and all of you left in such a hurry. I thought for certain you and your family were dead. I did find this holotape. I believe the missus was going to present it to you as a surprise. But then, well, everything happened.
Thank you, Codsworth.
You're welcome. Now, enough feeling sorry for myself. Shall we search the neighborhood together? The missus and young Sean may turn up yet.
All right, lead the way.
Proud to serve, sir.
Arnold decided to patch up some parts of the sanctuary and scrape everything around it. He wanted to add doors. Arnold got the gun nut perk. And with the gun nut perk, you're able to get a lot of modifications on guns. He made it more powerful, and he added some scopes to it. It was time to go. Continue looking for Sean. He ran into a dog.
Hey, boy, what are you doing out here all by yourself? Come with me if you want to live.
Killing the mole rats. He decided to start scraping things in this area too. At the gas station. Red Rocket truck stop. All of a sudden, he noticed people being shot at by these crazy people. It was time for him to do what Arnold does best. And kill those motherfuckers. And fuck you!
Hey, up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please!
Fighting my way through the Museum of Freedom. He got the fusion core. And walked up.
We got no reason to hang around and get shot.
Hey!
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minutemen.
God damn it.
Come with me if you want to live.
Well, if that's true, we could use some more goodwill. As you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here.
Elaborate.
A month ago, there were 20 of us. Yesterday, there were 8. First, it was the ghouls in Lexington, and now this mess.
Sorry. Sounds rough.
Thanks. It's good to meet someone who really cares. Well, we do have one idea.
One good idea can make all the difference.
There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof. Old school. Pre-war. You might have seen it. Well, looks like one of its passengers left behind a seriously sweet goodie. We're talking a full suit of cherry T-45 power armor. Military issue.
I find it adequate.
Yeah, I thought you might. Protection with an added bonus. And those raiders get an express ticket to hell.
Minigun. Now we're talking.
I know, right?
Actually, I already grabbed the fusion core. We're set.
Once you jack the core into the power armor and grab that minigun, those raiders will know they picked the wrong fight.
It was time to put the fusion core inside the power armor.
Come on, I've got places to be.
And so Arnold started attacking the rest of these raiders. Dog started getting injured. But Arnold had to focus on the Death Claw. Finally, Arnold shot its last bullet at the Death Claw.
That was a pretty amazing display. I'm just glad you're on our side.
You guys going to be okay now?
Yeah, for a while anyway, and we owe you our lives. It ain't much, but it's the best way I can say thank you.
Enemy terminated.
Well, since you say that, maybe you'll come to Sanctuary with us.
Come with me if you want to live.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Your son's energy. He's alive.
I knew it, please. Tell me where he is. I need to find my son.
I can't see him. Not clearly, but I feel his life force. He's out there. The great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Diamond City. The biggest settlement around.
What's in Diamond City? Is Sean there?
Look, kid, I'm tired now. Now let's get going. Sanctuary awaits.
It was time for Arnold to use the power armor to save it for later and go to Sanctuary Hills. And Arnold soon realized that Sanctuary was where he used to live, actually. It's pretty much where he used to live. Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned. It's the monument to the original Minutemen. I knew that was somewhere around Concord. That means this right here must be the Old North Bridge, where the first shots of the American Revolution were fired. I'd call that the best omen I've seen since we left Quincy.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, boss, but I'm glad you're happy about it.
Mr. Arnold, welcome back, sir. I do hope you were able to find some assistance in Concord.
You could say that. I made a few new friends.
Can't have enough of those these days. I realize that I'm no Mr. Gutsy, but if needed, I'd be honored to accompany you throughout the Commonwealth. Just say the word.
Yes, of course.
Right behind you, sir.
I'm glad you decided to come with us. I should have listened to Mama Murphy all along. Pretty nice place she's found for us. I think we could settle down here. Make it a place to call home. What do you think?
Yeah, I used to like living here before the war.
What do you mean? Before what war? Are you saying...
I lived here over 200 years ago. I was frozen or something for most of it. Just woke up a little while ago.
Damn. Like one of those old pre-war ghouls. You say you were frozen. Anybody else make it out with you?
Just my son. Somebody took him away while I was still trapped. I've been looking for him.
Damn. I'm sorry. I hope you find him. Let me know if there's any way I can help. Anyway, I am glad you're here.
Sturgis wanted Arnold to make purified water, crops, beds, and all that for the sanctuary.
We've been sleeping on the ground for too long. Just make sure we can sleep with a roof over our heads.
We had to place down some beds for starters.
Having a place to sleep will improve everyone's spirits. What we need now is a reliable source of clean water.
I'm on it. Clean water coming up.
Great. Thanks again.
So the first plan of Sanctuary is to add a defense wall right in front of the bridge. And we're going to have to add some steel walls along this riverside so it's more defended. The T on the house stands for turret, and that's where Arnold will put his first turret. And that red circle in the middle is a potential watchtower I might make. And then we're going to need to add some purified water source. We can add a purified water source from the river, and we can also add a water pump near a generator and one next to Arnie's house. We'll also add a machine gun turret right next to the water purifier so it's more protected. And with the power, we'll have to power up the water purifier and the water pump And to get more settlers, we'll need a radio recruitment beacon and power that up. I want to add different crops in different areas. I don't want to just put all the same crops in one giant area. I want one for gourd, one for melon, and one for... And these are where all the residential people will live, and we can just start adding houses. Arnie built a bunch of power sources at Sanctuary and a water pumping station leading down to a water purifier and a large industrial water purifier, being guarded by a machine gun turret. I also added barriers to protect Sanctuary a little better and a guard post right here. And I added some crops too. But in the distance are some raiders harassing another settlement. Now this Sanctuary is a nice cozy home, but we need to expand.
What do you think about our relationship?
I'm afraid that's a bit of an unknown, sir. You're no longer the man I knew who went into that vault 200 years ago.
Arnold started adding a house, a chill house on this one barrier, and he started adding walls, obviously, and he wanted to add glass walls on the outer so we could have like a nice view area for the settlers. And this would be a nice place for some Brahmin for when supply lines start happening. Oh yeah, and I also promised a watchtower, so let's do that. I started adding stairs, kind of like a circle motion. Then I added some guard posts on top of the watchtower so people could snipe from it and be defending the Sanctuary. Arnold thinks that looks pretty good for now.
Take it easy. I'm with the Minutemen. I'm here to help.
You're with the Minutemen? I didn't really think you fellas still existed. We sent word with one of them passing traders, but honestly, I never expected anything to come of it.
We're rebuilding the Minutemen from the ground up. We're the good guys again.
Glad to hear it. No question that things have been worse since the Minutemen fell to pieces. There's a raider gang that's been giving us trouble for weeks, stealing food and supplies, threatening to kill us all if we don't pony up. We know where they're coming from, but we can't go up against a gang like that.
Here we go, going to Cordova Assembly Plant to kill these raiders. Fuck you! Started fighting my way through raiders, and I did get the machine gun turret too. Arnold made his way to the top of the building, where the main boss raider was. He was able to unlock the terminal with his hacker skills.
There we go.
He managed to kill the boss raider.
Ain't our fault if he's strung out. Whoa, whoa. Easy there, scamper. This doesn't involve you.
What's going on here?
It's a simple business dispute, got it? Trudy's sitting on a pile of goods that she owes me. I sell her chems, she gives me caps and parts I need. And when her son Patrick had his 18th birthday, I might have sold him some jet. Then some more. Then a lot more. Now he's in debt.
Looks to me like they shouldn't have bought that jet, and you shouldn't have sold it to them.
Now you gonna help us out, or what?
I'll talk to her. Maybe we can work this out.
Appreciate it.
Look, you owe them money. If you just pay them, then this will be over. Everyone walks away without getting hurt.
All right, I'll pay. But that bastard ain't gonna sell one more drop of jet to my boy.
Arnold started trading things with Trudy, so he could get more supplies. If you choose not to kill one or the other, you can have two people to trade with if your charisma is good.
We get paid and I don't even gotta shoot nobody. Good job. Here. Now how about I show you all the pick-me-ups I have to offer?
And you get paid either way. I started selling my drugs to Wolfgang for more caps too.
You find those raiders?
Yeah, I took care of them.
No kidding? That's the best piece of news we've had around here for a good long time.
Now, this is a destroyed house, obviously, and this is the essence of Ten Pines Bluff. We can now build and use the workshop in Ten Pines Bluff, but there's really not much in it, so we have a lot we need to scavenge for, and we have a lot we need to build. Okay, side note, this mod I'm using to rebuild this house is called Snappy House Kit. It uses things from around the wasteland, that you can just build that wouldn't be in base game. So I liked using that to rebuild this house. This kind of looks cool, and we can make it look really nice, like it's actually rebuilt. That mod's called Snappy House Kit.
You know that settlement you sent me to help. They've decided to join the Minutemen.
That's great news. I knew you were the right person for the job. By the way, you should have one of these flare guns. You can use it to signal for help from any nearby Minutemen. Not much use yet, but once we have more allied settlements, you'll have help whenever you need it. I don't think I ever told you what happened to the Minutemen. How I ended up as the last one.
I figured you'd tell me when you were ready.
Have you heard of the Quincy massacre?
What was it?
I thought everyone in the Commonwealth knew about that by now. Where the Minutemen betrayed each other and the people they were supposed to protect. I was with Colonel Hollis's group. A mercenary group called the Gunners was attacking Quincy. The people there called for the Minutemen to help. We were the only ones that came. They just turned their backs on us and the folks in Quincy. Only a few of us got out alive. Colonel Hollis was dead, so I ended up in charge of the survivors. We never found a safe place to settle.
Never give in to despair. Never stop fighting. Because war never changes.
I'm not about to give up, but I can't protect the Commonwealth all by myself. Hell, I could barely protect these people. That's why I'm talking to you. I can't rebuild the Minutemen, but I think you can.
Why can't you lead the Minutemen?
That's not who I am. I can get my men through a firefight. I can defend a perimeter against all odds. But that's not going to be enough to bring the Minutemen back from the brink. We need someone who can bring the whole Commonwealth together in a common cause. And I think you've got it in you to be that leader.
Mr. Garvey is quite right, sir. If anyone can unite the people, it's you.
What makes you think I can do this?
You saved us and conquered. There wasn't anything in it for you. You had your own problems to deal with, but you did it anyway. That kind of selflessness has been in mighty short supply around here for quite a while.
Give it to me.
That's the spirit, sir, and one giant step in the right direction for the Commonwealth.
Good. Good. Welcome aboard. I feel like this is a whole new start for the Minutemen, and the Commonwealth too. Don't worry, I'll be right beside you all the way, General.
That's quite the promotion you just gave me.
The leader of the Minutemen has always held the rank of General. Our last leader was General Becker. After he died back in '82, nobody could agree on who should take his place. The one good thing about being the last Minuteman is there's no one to argue with me when I say you're the new general. Now it's your job to make it more than an empty title.
I knew you'd join us here, kid. Your energy is tied to this place.
I used to live here a long time ago.
Ah, but the distant past ain't so distant for you. I saw you leave that icebox. This whole world is like some bad dream you can't wake up from, isn't it? The sight can help you, kid. It always has answers. Just gotta bring me some jet so I can see what it wants to tell you.
No, you're an addict. You need help.
Oh, not this again. Kid, listen to me. I'm old, even older than you'd think. If the chems are gonna kill me, then I say I've had a good run. We'd have never made it this far without the sight. We need it. You need it. It's part of who I am.
The sight isn't worth killing yourself over, Mama Murphy. It doesn't have to define what you are, or what you can give.
It's my decision, kid, not yours. Now lay off for a while, will ya?
I started storing some purified water, because there is a cap on how much can be stored in the workbench, and I added more crops in different places. I think this would be a good place for Brahmin. I started boarding up the house. You can use the Place Anywhere mod to place an object anywhere you want. And this mod I'm using is OC Decorator, and it lets you place literal objects that you wouldn't be able to, like this pool ball, and you can pick it up and use it like standalone objects. At first, I heard people talk about it, I didn't know what it meant, but it's actually a really fun mod to use. I started adding a surface on top of the house in the middle of the sanctuary, kind of like a place where people could live on top of this part of the house. And then we would need a radio recruitment beacon so we could get people to come to Sanctuary. Now it's all fun and games. It's a nice little chill spot to play Bob the Builder in Sanctuary. Now this is a nice chill spot, but it's not going to do much for the Minutemen if we don't expand and move on to new places where we can find new settlements where we can expand. To really show the Minutemen are back, we're going to have to scout. There's a settlement that needs our help called Oberlin Station, and we're going to work our way to it. But on the way there, we can find other settlements that might need our help too. Maybe at Abernathy Farms or Grey Garden, which are settlements on the way. Arnold started adding a recruitment beacon at Red Rocket Truck Stop as well. That way we could add defense more for Sanctuary. He added a guard post right at the road area. A little more beds. He wasn't quite ready to make a whole bunch. This was going to be a little small defense area for Sanctuary for now with some crops and stuff. And we have beds for the settlers.
That's close enough, stranger. We're a peaceful farm. We don't want any trouble.
It's okay. I'm friendly. Not looking to cause any trouble.
If you say so, but be warned, we're armed here. So don't try anything. Let me tell you, farming ain't easy. Out in the field all day, every day, and every minute of it spent watching your back.
Farming's hard work.
Won't argue with that. Blake Abernathy, you new to the Commonwealth?
Yeah, you could say that.
Good to see a new face. How about you? Ever think about working the land?
I'm sure I'll give it a try someday.
Well, good luck to you then. Maybe I'll see you at the Diamond City Market someday and we'll do a swap. Word of advice though, if you do start up a farm, be ready to deal with the raiders. Why do all the hard work when you can just take what you want at gunpoint?
Bastards. All of them.
Last time those raiders hit us, my daughter Mary tried to stand up to them. Now she's buried out back of the house. Only 21 years old, and they shot her down without a thought. That's why we need the Minutemen back. And the sooner, the better.
There's nothing worse than losing a child. Believe me, I know.
All too well, I'm afraid. My sympathies are with you both.
I'm sorry to hear you say so. I don't have much to offer, but those raiders that killed Mary, they took her locket too. It's been in Connie's family for generations. If you could get it back, it'd mean a lot to us.
Don't worry. I'll get that locket back for you.
Good. Connie feels like it's a part of Mary. I don't think she'll rest easy again as long as it's gone.
Welcome to Grey Garden, darling. This is the Commonwealth's first and only hydroponics facility run entirely by robots.
That's pretty ingenious. I bet you can work around the clock.
Of course, darling. Our unique hierarchy allows for constant operation. You see, there are two kinds of robots here. The worker drones carry out labor and maintenance. We supervisors, that is myself, Green and Brown, possess sophisticated cognition processors. We are capable of complex analysis and decision-making, a testament to the genius of our creator, Dr. Edward Gray.
Obviously, the man was brilliant to come up with something like this.
I could hardly have said it better myself, darling. Robotics and artificial intelligence were our creator's great passions, rivaled only by his love of television. Perhaps you've noticed that I possess a rather singular personality, as do the other supervisors.
Well, it's definitely unique. Sort of hard to miss.
I'll take that as a compliment, darling. After all, the last thing any woman wants to be is ordinary. A few other things you should know. Talk to Green if you need supplies. If it's caps you require, Brown might have a few odd jobs. There's one other thing. A question, really. Tell me, darling, what do you think of the water around here?
Adequate.
Men. Take it from me, dear. It's ghastly. simply ghastly. Pressure's down, radiation is up. Why, it's practically toxic. Just think what it must be doing to my skin. This will never do. I don't mean to impose, darling, but perhaps you could lend us a hand.
All settlements need my help.
Marvelous. Simply marvelous. Most of our water comes from the old Western plant, south of here. Such an eyesore. Be a dear and pay a visit, See what you can do. Maybe tidy up the place. It must be filthy. If you can get it working again, I'm sure I can come up with something for you.
Hey.
Point it out. Do you have a minute?
Sure. Go ahead.
When we first met, I admit, I had my doubts about you, but you've done nothing but impress me. You're just who the Minutemen needed to bring us back from the brink.
Thanks. That means a lot coming from you.
You've probably realized by now how important the Minutemen are to me. When I was a kid, the Minutemen were my heroes. They were the only good guys around, really. When I turned 17, I joined up with Ezra Hollis's company. He was one of the good ones. Really believed in the old-time Minuteman way. We had a few good years there. I felt like I was part of something bigger than me. Like I was really helping make the Commonwealth a better place.
It sounds like you were really making a difference.
I think we were. I know we were. But obviously it didn't last. I'm sure there was a lot I didn't see or know enough to pay attention to. You know, the politics and rivalries and bad blood between the different groups. I guess General Becker was able to keep a lid on it. Keep everyone more or less on the same team. But after he was killed, it all came out in the open. I couldn't believe it at first. These guys were supposed to be Minutemen. They were supposed to put their duty to the people ahead of everything else. You probably think I was pretty naive, huh? I guess I was. Still am, too. Even after everything, I still believe that the Minutemen can be what I always thought they were. The good guys.
We are the good guys.
We're doing our best. And a lot of it has to do with your example. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, thanks. Anyway, I appreciate you taking the time to listen.
Anytime, Preston.
Thanks, man. We probably better get back to it.
Did the Minutemen send you?
My mission is to protect the Minutemen. All settlements need my help.
There's a group of raiders that won't leave us alone, stealing our food and supplies and threatening us if we can't give them what they want. We know where they're coming from, but we can't stand up to them ourselves.
Raiders, super mutants, gunners. All must be terminated.
I hope so. We didn't know what to do.
How do you think things are between us?
I'm glad I ran into you in Concord. I think you're gonna turn out to be the right choice to lead the Minutemen.
Before Arnold wanted to help those two settlements, he decided to head to Diamond City first, to get information about Sean and where he might be. But the city was being attacked by super mutants, so he's decided to step in and help them out. He managed to help kill a lot of the super mutants. And we managed to clear them off.
Damn. Not afraid of mutants, huh? You're our kind of guy.
What do you mean you can't open the gate? Stop playing around, Danny. I'm standing out in the open here, for crying out loud.
I got orders not to let you in, Miss Piper. I'm sorry. I'm just doing my job.
Ooh, just doing your job. Protecting Diamond City means keeping me out, is that it? Oh, look, it's the scary reporter.
I'm sorry, but Mayor McDonough's really steamed, Piper. Saying that article you wrote was all lies. The whole city's in a tizzy.
Ugh. You open this gate right now, Danny Sullivan. I live here. You can't just lock me out. Damn it, Danny. Open up! You want into Diamond City, right?
Affirmative.
Shh. Play along. What's that? You said you're a traitor up from Quincy? You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
Jeez, alright. No need to make it personal, Piper. Give me a minute.
We haven't much time.
Another great day in Diamond City.
Piper, who let you back inside? I told Sullivan to keep that gate shut. You devious, rabble-rousing slanderer. The level of dishonesty in that paper of yours. I'll have that printer scrapped for parts.
Ooh, that a statement, Mr. McDonough? Tyrant mayor shuts down the press. Why don't we ask the newcomer? You support the news? Because the mayor's threatened to throw free speech in the dumpster.
Always believed in freedom of the press.
Rightly so. A true medium for the people.
Is one of the foundations of a free society.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring you into this argument, good sir. No. You look like Diamond City material. Welcome to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Safe, happy, a fine place to come. Spend your money, settle down. Don't let this muckraker here tell you otherwise, all right?
I'm sure your city's a great place.
Yeah, greatest house of cards in the Commonwealth. Until the wind blows.
Now, was there anything particular you came to our city for?
I'm trying to find someone.
Trying to find someone? Who?
My son, Sean. He's less than a year old.
Wait, your son's missing? Oh, you hear that, McDonough? What's Diamond City Security doing to help this man, huh? This isn't the first missing persons report to come through here, and now we have an infant who's been taken?
Don't listen to her. Well, I'm afraid that our security team can't follow every case that comes through. I'm confident that you can find help here. Diamond City has every conceivable service known to man. One of our great citizens can surely find the time to help you.
I hope so.
This is ridiculous. Diamond City Security can't spare one officer to help. I want the truth, McDonough. What's the real reason security never investigates him?
I've had enough of this, Piper. From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for. A big Diamond City welcome from the mayor. You feel honored yet? Look, I gotta go get settled in, but, stop by my office later. I have an idea for an article you'd be perfect for.
You're so living, right?
So, you're that traitor Piper was talking about. Something tells me she's pulled the wool over my eyes again. Am I right?
I didn't mean to lie, officer. It all just happened so fast.
You're not the first guy Piper pulled into a heap of trouble he wasn't ready for. Thanks for being honest. If it were up to me, we would have just let the both of you in. But the mayor's calling the shots, and... well, you saw how mad he is.
Arnold finally made it to Diamond City. It was an old baseball area turned into a city with lots of different shops. He felt out of place in the city, but he was ready to go look for his son in this so-called Diamond City.
I am crossing river, right? Wearing nothing but a smile. When out comes the most dangerous of all sea monsters, a Mirelurk!
A Mirelurk? Come on. That's like 2 out of 10 points of danger tops. Now, if you want to talk something really deadly. Redeem!
I forgot you were there, you fiend. What is it?
You know what? Never mind.
We
I'll
need
handle
to
it
have
myself.
a conversation.
Leave me alone.
You sure? I was gonna offer you a job. Pays pretty well, too.
I eat death claws for breakfast.
Don't move, Synth. What have you done with the real Riley? Where's my brother?
I swear, I'm not a synth. Don't shoot, for God's sakes, we're family!
Put the gun down, now!
He's a synth! He'll kill us all!
Kyle, no!
Okay, show's over. There are no synths in Diamond City, hear me? Just you folks and your damn paranoia.
Hey.
He pulled a gun on me. My own brother.
You're safe now. That's all that matters.
I'm not a synth. I told him. I kept telling him. Why didn't he listen to me? I need a minute.
I need you to step away, Scaver.
All right. I'll leave.
Just go about your business.
Glad you dropped by. You holding up, Blue?
Yeah, holding up.
Look, I'm just gonna say it. You're a vault dweller. You might not be wearing the blue jumpsuit, but the Pip-Boy and that fish out of water look, dead giveaways. So here's the deal. I want an interview. Your life story in print. I think it's time Diamond City had a little outside perspective on the Commonwealth. You do that, and I'll tell you what. I'll come with you. Watch your back while you get used to the world above ground.
All right, Piper. I'm in.
Good. Let's get down to business. So, I know you're from a vault. How would you describe your time on the inside?
My family and I were frozen. I didn't spend much time in the vault.
Wait, they boxed you up in a fridge? The whole time? Are you saying you were alive before the war?
Behold, I am immortal.
You know, I guess you kind of are, aren't you? Oh my god. The man out of time. So, you've seen the Commonwealth, Diamond City. How does it compare to your old life?
Honestly, seeing everyone surviving out here, rebuilding the world, it gives me hope.
That's surprisingly inspired, Blue. We're definitely quoting that. Now, I already know you're looking for your son, Sean. Do you suspect the Institute was involved in his kidnapping?
The Institute. Who are they?
That, Blue, is the biggest mystery in the Commonwealth. No one really knows who or where they are, but their handiwork is all over. Synths. Synthetic people. Sent from their hidden labs to do the Institute's dirty work. Sometimes they even replace a person with a synth double. A little covert agent no one would ever suspect. Now, not everything that goes wrong has the Institute behind it, but there's always a chance. That's why I'm asking.
Sure sounds like they might be.
Not even a baby is safe from them. And people wonder why I can't just look the other way. For the last part of our interview, I'd like to do something different. I want you to make a statement to Diamond City directly. The threat of kidnapping is all but ignored in the Commonwealth. Everyone wants to pretend it just doesn't happen. What would you say to someone out there who's lost a loved one but might be too scared or too numb to the world to look for them?
No matter how much you want to give up, you have to have hope that you'll see them again. Or at least, that you'll know the truth.
A strong note to end on, Blue. Thanks. That's everything. It's gonna take some time to put this all together, but I think your story is gonna give Diamond City plenty to talk about. Look, about your son. I didn't know if you were on the up and up before, didn't want to waste my friend's time, but I think he can help you. His name's Nick Valentine, a detective extraordinaire. Got an office here in Diamond City. Just look for the neon sign with the heart in it.
Insane with the head. You sure he's not running a brothel?
That would be hilarious, but no. No, Blue, he's on the up and up. Anyway, I agreed to come with you, right? Watch your back. Just say the word when you're ready. I can't wait to see where the story goes next.
Should stop by Fallon's
here we
basement.
go.
Open for
Quiet.
today.
All right, you. Tell me, Diamond City Radio is terrible, yes? Makes you want to cut your own ears off.
It's not that bad.
Blah! You don't know what you're talking about. This DJ Travis, he is bad for our business. He makes all the customers unhappy, so we must turn off radio.
Vadim!
It's true! Don't listen to my brother. Someone needs to get rid of him. We need a new DJ for the radio. I don't think many would notice if he, you know, disappeared.
That's a horrible idea.
I tell you, it would be easier than you think. You just have to talk him into following you out of town.
What happened to merely speaking to the man?
Turn off your radio.
Why, I imagined your presence alone would probably motivate him to improve.
All right, that's enough. Vadim isn't serious. He doesn't really want to kill Travis.
Okay, what's really going on here?
Sorry, we were just joking around a bit. Poor Travis. He means well, but he does not have the confidence he needs for that job, or anything else, really. And so he's always awkward. He does not believe in himself, you see? He expects he will fail at everything, and so he does.
Excuse me, General. Do you have a minute?
Affirmative.
Look, I know I put you in an almost impossible position when I asked you to lead the Minutemen. I didn't have any right to ask you to take that on. I guess I was kind of desperate at that point. I still don't know why you said yes. If it was for me, or for the Commonwealth, or for some other reason. It doesn't really matter. I just want you to know that I appreciate what you've done. We've got a long road ahead of us, for sure. But I don't doubt that you're the leader the Minutemen needed.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. It's good to hear, especially from you.
We make a good team, General. No doubt about that. I've taken up enough of your time. We'd better get back to it.
What do you want, Vadim?
I am glad you are willing to help. Unlike my deadbeat brother. Travis is a good guy. He deserves better life.
Affirmative.
Okay, so Travis needs to believe in himself, yes? Believe he is capable of more. You know what works well for this? A bar fight. Ever been in one?
I'm not some thug. I don't get involved in stuff like that.
Yes, there are other ways of instilling confidence that don't involve violence.
What if it was for good cause? Then would you be willing? I want to stage fight here in Dugout. Nothing too serious. We make sure Travis wins and feels good about himself after. I want you to be there to help make it look real. What do you think? Sound good to you?
Oh, would something like that even work?
It makes sense, I promise. I have contacts, people I can count on. Real tough looking, but they will take a dive for money. They confront Travis here at Dugout. You step in and give him push he needs to stand up to them. Then you and Travis take them down. Nothing gets too rough, and Travis is something he can feel good about. Simple, right?
Why involve me in this?
You have seen Travis, yes? He cannot fight alone, not even fake one. He needs help. You can help him. Yeah, it's too late today for me to arrange. You come back tomorrow evening after 6 o'clock, and everything will be ready.
And I don't like your radio. What you gonna do about it?
Yeah! But what's this about?
Maybe I don't like your little radio program. What you have to say about that?
Hey.
What's your problem?
I need your clothes, your chems, and your bottle caps.
Yeah, well, I'd like a million caps. Looks like both of us are gonna be disappointed today. Now get the hell out of here.
My mission is to protect you.
I mean, I'm not really looking to cause, you know, trouble.
I have no idea what I did to deserve this. I just wish they'd go away.
Let's do something about this, then.
No, that might end badly. With these men, it could, well, it could turn violent.
Do it now.
Well, if you think it would work.
Chin up, Travis. We'll be at your side every step of the way.
It'll work. Trust us.
We're right behind you.
What you gonna do, little man?
I'll beat you up!
Big mistake, Travis. I'm gonna destroy you. And your friend here.
Why am I doing this?
Don't worry, I'm still attached. I think.
Beat it now.
I kind of told you it'd end up like this.
Hey, it's okay. You did your best, right?
Did I? I mean, yeah, okay, sure. I guess I tried. I'm gonna go now, but, thanks. Thanks for, you know, sticking up for me.
Okay, not quite what I expected, but we move on. Ready for next part of foolproof plan?
Give it to me.
Good attitude. It's nice and easy. You have seen Scarlet, yes? She has worked here for some time. Now, I am just simple bartender, but I see things. I see how Travis looks at her, and I see that sometimes she looks at him. If someone who was not her employer suggests that she go spend time with Travis, it might do him some good.
I could have a chat with her.
Yes, I know. This is why I'm telling you. Just do whatever it takes to get her to agree to see Travis, and this will all be worth it. And you and I never talked about this, all right?
Now, before talking to Scarlet, Arnold decided to check on Nick Valentine because he knew that he had information about where Sean was, his son.
Office is closed.
I'll be back.
No, that's not what I mean. We're not just closed for the day. We're closed permanently. The detective's gone missing.
Don't worry, I can help. Tell me what happened.
Nick was working a case. Skinny Malone's gang had kidnapped a young woman, and he tracked them down to their hideout in Park Street Station. There's an old vault down there that they use as a base. I told Nick he was walking into a trap, but he just smiled and walked out the door like he always does.
I'll find him. You have my word.
Thank you. Nick should be easy to spot. He's always wearing that old hat and trench coat getup. Please, hurry.
Sir, if I might bend your ear for a moment.
Of course. Go right ahead.
So gracious, sir. I do appreciate it. I've always had such admiration for you and your family, ever since the day my visual sensors were first switched on. You and the missus, so good with young Sean, and so trusting of me to look after such a newborn bundle of joy. It just warms my nuclear core. So you can imagine the distress I felt when the bombs fell, after you fled to the vault. I searched, but found no evidence of your death. I could only hope you all made it in time. And when you returned, I was overjoyed. I admit I ran a full diagnostic scan just to make sure I wasn't malfunctioning. But the news of the missus and Sean, believe me when I say it takes a true hero to live through that.
I'm no hero, Codsworth. Believe me.
Don't sell yourself short, sir. In such a bleak world as this, think of all you've witnessed and all you've done. In my 200 years, I've seen it tear good men and women apart. But you, sir, you have remained the very model of what humanity should aspire to be.
Thank you, Codsworth. That means a lot.
No thanks necessary, sir. I wouldn't hear of it. I truly believe if the Commonwealth is to turn itself around, you're the one to do it. Now, not another word. I stand firm in my belief. Let's get back to it.
I'm on a break right now.
Actually, I'd like to talk to you about Travis, if you have a moment.
Travis? Really? Did he mention me? I heard about the fight. Travis was... well, he was brave.
Yeah, absolutely. You should really pay him a visit.
You think? I mean, I've definitely noticed him. Maybe... No, I couldn't just go over there.
Your confusion is not rational.
Okay, I will. I'll go see him now. Thanks.
Hey, Yefim.
This is terrible. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. He was up to no good, and look what's happened now. You've got to help. I can't do it. You've got to help me.
Take it easy. It'll be all right. Just tell me what happened.
They took him. They took Vadim. Those men, the ones that messed with Travis, they came back. Said Vadim owed them money, that they had a deal. He wouldn't pay, and that they grabbed him and said that they would make him pay. And then they just dragged him out. You have to do something. Please tell me you can do something.
I'll bring him back, Yefim. Count on it.
Please, just bring him back. He's an idiot, but he's my brother. I'd go with you, but someone has to stay here. Talk to Travis. Maybe he knows where they took him.
I need your help. Vadim's been kidnapped by Bo.
That's not funny.
I'm not joking around, Travis. This is serious. I really do need your help.
Wait. Really? Oh. Oh man, wow, this is because of what happened, isn't it? It's my fault.
No, Travis. This is between Vadim and those men. It's not your fault.
But if I hadn't gotten into that fight with them, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Nonsense, Mr. Miles. The blame is unimportant. What matters now is finding Mr. Bobroff.
It's really not your fault.
Don't do that to yourself. All we can do now is figure out how to make this right.
Look, I don't really, I mean, I don't have a lot of friends. If Vadim is missing, or in trouble, or whatever, then I'm gonna help get him back.
All right. I'd welcome the help.
Good. I didn't want to have to argue about it with you. I've heard enough to know they're probably holed up at the old Beantown Brewery. We gotta go in there, show them we mean business, and then we can bring Vadim back, and everything will be okay. Right? I'll get a gun, and I'll meet you there. We'll settle this.
Arnold started walking his way to help Vadim, who'd been kidnapped. But before that, there was a raider problem at Oberlin Station, so on his way there, he decided to kill some raiders.
That's how it's done. Am I right, sir? Go. That's that. Oil flare.
He found a missile launcher, and that was very useful.
Have any more stories like that?
How much time you got? Yeah, I have a few. Let me see. A couple years back, before I met Clutch, me and a couple friends found a young...
So these raiders wouldn't shut up, and they kind of got distracted by a conversation. And so Arnold waited for the right moment, and...
Hey, you was afraid of fire? I'll find you.
I'm not into politics.
We snuck up, and there was a machine gun turret that we blew up.
Back time, Boogeyman! They do not look...
And then we managed to kill the raiders. And then we did a celebration dance. You put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
I took care of those raiders for you.
Really? That's the best news I've heard in a long time. By the way, we've talked about it, and we've decided to support the Minutemen. I think it's worth giving it another chance. The only way things will get better is if we stand together.
What now?
A settlement has sent word. They somehow managed to drive off a super mutant raid. But they're worried the super mutants will come back in force. You better get over there before it's too late.
Oh, thank God. You're here. So this is it. Odds are if they've got Vadim, he's inside. We're gonna be okay, right?
Definitely. We'll be fine.
Okay. Good. I mean, I can do this.
I've complete faith in you, Mr. Miles.
Just remember, we're here to help your friend. Focus on that, and you'll be fine.
That's a good attitude. Because in a minute, you're gonna have to.
Any last-minute advice? I've never done anything like this.
Just stay calm. Don't go crazy in there.
Right. Calm. I can do calm. Calm. Okay, can we just get in there before I totally lose my nerve?
Always on good behavior, aren't you?
I try to be.
Seems like you're doing better than trying. I appreciate it. Too few folks can be bothered. Of course, in my experience, if you want to do real good, playing nice only gets you so far. I mean, look at Diamond City. A place I've been trying to warn of real danger. But every issue I publish, all I hear is, "Oh, Piper, why don't you ever publish anything happy? Piper, why can't you write something nice for a change?" It's enough to make me want to hang up my hat some days.
Sounds like it must be exhausting.
No kidding. But people, they deserve to know the truth. Sure, it can be scary, knowing what's really out there. A night doesn't go by, I'm not afraid some Institute drone will decide today's the day to pay old Piper and family a visit. But But it's worth it. Because I know the truth. That's what protects us.
Couldn't agree more. How can you protect you and yours if you don't know what you're facing?
Exactly. Most folks, though, they'd prefer a comforting lie. Not me. I've seen firsthand what the truth can do. My sister and I, we grew up way out in the Commonwealth. Tiny little settlement. Our dad, he was part of the local militia. Keeping the raiders off our backs and the mirelurks out of our latrines, as he'd describe it. Well, one day, our dad turns up dead. His captain, asshole named Mayburn, claims raiders must have gotten him on watch. Well, I didn't buy it. I start making inquiries. Turns out, the captain, he'd sold out. Thought he wasn't getting paid enough to babysit the town. He was gonna leave the gates open one night. Let a group of raiders sack the place and take a cut of the profits. My dad found out and was gonna turn Mayburn in, but Mayburn got to him first. And I wasn't about to let that bastard get away with murder. I tried talking to the mayor, but he wouldn't listen. So, I papered the entire town in posters. Wanted for gross dereliction of duty, Captain Mayburn. The mayor sure wanted to talk after that. The town threw Mayburn out on his ass and were dug in when a very surprised group of raiders finally showed.
You saved those people.
No. Those people saved themselves. Because they knew the truth. But hey, I'm sorry if I've been rambling. I just get fired up sometimes. It's just nice to talk to someone who actually seems to get it, you know? So, should we head out?
It was time to rescue Vadim, who'd been kidnapped by these raiders.
Something's out there.
I didn't know if anyone would come. I thought perhaps this is the end. Thank you, thank you. You are a true friend.
I'm programmed to protect you.
You are a good man. These idiots had caps and chems just lying around. They did not notice when I filled my pockets. You deserve what I took. And Travis, I am surprised to see you here.
Hey, Vadim. I'm glad you're safe.
How did you get roped into this?
I wasn't forced or anything. I wanted to help.
You are full of surprises, my friend.
Hey, listen. I wanted to say thanks. This has been... well, it's been crazy. But I've learned a lot, I think.
You came through it all pretty well, Travis. That's good to hear.
Thanks.
Couldn't have done it better myself.
I think about the things that had me worried so much, and it just seems... silly, you know? Like, was I really that worried about just being on the radio? That's nothing compared to being beaten up, shot at. I can do so much more. And I need to. Anyway, thanks again. I owe you.
D.
What do you need?
D.
You really are one of the good guys, you know?
Thanks, Preston. I already know you think so.
I know, but I don't know if you really get it. How unusual you are. Since we met, I think you know I've really come to respect you, both as a leader and as a friend. Most people are just out for themselves, one way or another. Even the good ones. But you're different. You really care about other people, even when it isn't convenient or even safe. I've seen you risk your life more than once to help people, just because it was the right thing to do. I just wanted you to know that, well, that it matters, that you're making a difference.
You just described yourself, Preston. I hope you realize that.
Quite the mutual admiration society we've got going here, huh? No, but I hear you. And thanks. Let's just agree to both keep that in mind going forward, huh? All right, enough chit-chat, huh?
After saving Vadim, we decided to walk back to Sanctuary, but on the way there, we heard a distress call from someone, and we decided to help and check it out to make sure they were okay. There was these people being attacked by ghouls. Arnold decided to assist these soldiers who were being attacked, even though they were in frickin' power armor and like they could probably be fine.
We appreciate the assistance, civilian, but what's your business here?
I'm just trying to survive out here, like everyone else.
The way you charged in and engaged those ferals, I find that a bit difficult to believe. Are you from a local settlement?
I'm from Sanctuary Hills, on the other side of Concord.
I've seen the location on our maps, but I've never visited the area myself. There isn't much over there for us to collect. If I appear suspicious, it's because our mission here has been difficult. Since the moment we arrived in the Commonwealth, we've been constantly under fire. If you want to continue pitching in, we could use an extra gun on our side.
I'll continue to help, but you owe me an explanation first.
Agreed. The more we know, the better we may assist.
Very well. I'm Paladin Danse, Brotherhood of Steel. Over there is Scribe Halen and Knight Reese. We're on recon duty, but I'm down a man and our supplies are running low. I've been trying to send a distress call to my superiors, but the signal's too weak to reach them.
Sir, if I may.
Proceed, Halen.
I've modified the radio tower on the roof of the police station, but I'm afraid it just isn't enough. What we need is something that will boost the signal.
Our target is ArcJet Systems, and it contains the technology we need. The deep-range transmitter. We infiltrate the facility, secure the transmitter, and bring it back here. So what do you say? You willing to lend the Brotherhood of Steel a hand?
It's showtime.
Outstanding.
I decided to do that mission later because I had literally no ammunition. And there's a settlement that needs our help before it's too late.
Ye dear.
I hope you're here to help.
Affirmative.
Super mutants came through a few days ago. Only a few of them, but they did a lot of damage before we managed to drive them off. It was only a miracle that nobody got killed. But I'm afraid they'll be back, with reinforcements this time. We barely held them off the first time. We'd appreciate anything you can do to help us defend ourselves.
Arnold started adding machine gun turrets and a laser turret too. They wanted to make it more defended, and so these super mutants started coming out, but the problem was for them that they all came out in the same place. So they did manage to kill Arnold at first, but once he realized they're all coming out at the same place, he threw a grenade at them, and they all come tumbling down.
You are one ugly motherfucker.
I can't believe it. We won. Yeah, we couldn't have done it without your help. The Minutemen came through for us, and we won't forget it.
What else have you got for me, Preston?
We've gotten big enough that we're having trouble communicating with all our settlements. It's a good problem to have, and I have a solution. I think it's time to retake the castle. It used to be the Minutemen HQ, way before my time. Well fortified, centrally located, and most important, it has a powerful radio transmitter we can use to broadcast to the whole Commonwealth.
So what happened to this castle if it was so well fortified?
This was long before I joined up, but the story I heard was that some kind of monster came out of the sea and destroyed the fort. A lot of the leaders were killed in that battle, and I guess nobody ever felt it was worth the risk to try to retake it. I've always wondered if losing the radio station was the beginning of all our later problems. So, should I have an assault force assemble near the castle?
It's showtime.
We'll do some recon and meet you outside the castle. See you there.
Arnold decided to build more houses for the sanctuary because it was getting more populated. We wanted a barn that we could build in, so we decided to build something nice for the settlers to chill at. We added a nice roof, and I think that looks pretty good.
We could really use your help.
My mission is to ensure your survival at all costs.
Something nasty's living just around the corner from here. Now, what's really too bad is it'd be a nice spot for a new settlement. In fact, I know some folks that'd love to set up there if it was safe.
If you can make sure the old workshop there is still in one piece, anyone who decides to move in later will be able to rebuild.
No problemo.
Sure managed to find your fair share of trouble, don't you?
I suppose so.
Hey, I'm not one to judge. Honestly, it's just nice to not be doing it alone for a change. In my line of work, things tend to get pretty hairy. I've been shot at, poisoned, nearly executed. Heck, until recently they called the lockup in Diamond City the Piper Suite. Anything for a story, I suppose.
You've led an exciting life.
Sure have. But honestly, now that I'm out here with you, I feel like I'm just getting started. Getting in trouble is what folks like us do. I mean, you and I are out here putting ourselves at risk so people in the Commonwealth can have a chance at a better life. Not for praise or reward or glory, but because it's right. I just wanted to let you know I'm real happy to be along for the ride.
I wouldn't want it any other way. I like having you close.
Oh, thanks, Blue. That's awfully sweet and unexpected of you. So you want to get out of here?
Now that is a pretty cool barn, and that can hold a lot of settlers that can sleep in there and keep people happy. Now that we have more ammo, we can go back to Paladin Danse's mission and assist him with his problem.
Paladin Danse.
You ready to move out?
Affirmative.
Outstanding. Follow me, and try not to lag behind.
If we take this road, we should be able to avoid the larger packs of ferals infesting Cambridge.
There it is, arc jet systems. There shouldn't be any exterior security, so we'll head in through the front.
Paladin Danse.
Listen up. We do this clean and quiet. No heroics and by the book. Understood?
No problemo.
Outstanding. Remember, our primary target is the deep-range transmitter. Stay focused and check your fire. I don't want to be hit by stray bullets. It was corporations like this that put the last nail in the coffin for mankind. They exploited technology for their own gains, pocketing the cash and ignoring the damage they've done.
Kinda like the Brotherhood of Steel.
Look at these wrecks. It appears as though the facility's automated security's already been dealt with.
Good. Less security to worry about.
Negative. There's nothing good about it. Look at the evidence. There isn't a single spent ammunition casing or drop of blood in sight. These robots were assaulted by Institute synths.
The Institute must be terminated.
Roger that. Let's move out.
With Arnold's hacking skills, he was able to unlock the advanced terminal.
Sweet.
And then we had to kill synths. We had to kill these synths because apparently they were holding this deep-range transmitter that had technology that the Brotherhood wanted. Arnold decided to help with this mission because the Brotherhood might have good usage to help find Sean. The power was out in this section, so Arnold needed to use his hacker skills again to turn it back on.
There we go.
Engine core power restored. Commencing 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. Are you alright?
Got cooked by those flames. But thanks to my power armor, I'm still in one piece. The important thing is that we're still alive. We have a way to get to the transmitter.
Let's go.
They were the last of the synths in this control room. Started throwing some grenades at them, shooting them down. And we found the deep-range transmitter.
They may have been after the transmitter as well. Let's get out. We'll take the service elevator to the surface.
Paladin.
Well, that could have gone smoother, but mission accomplished.
Muda, I thought we did fine.
That sweep was sloppy. We were caught unprepared more than once, which is unacceptable. However, your extra gun gave us the edge we needed. I'm not certain I could have accomplished the mission alone.
Adequate.
Agreed. It's a refreshing change to work with a civilian who can follow orders properly. That being said, I believe we have two important matters to discuss. First and foremost, if you'll hand me the deep-range transmitter, I'd like to compensate you for your assistance during this operation. I think you'll find this weapon useful. It's my own personal modification of the standard Brotherhood laser rifle. May it serve you well in battle.
Don't you need to keep it?
This isn't the only weapon at my disposal. Brotherhood soldiers always carry a backup. Now, as far as the second matter goes, I wanted to make you a proposal. We had a lot thrown at us back there. Our op could have ended in disaster, but you kept your cool and handled it like a soldier. There's no doubt in my mind that you've got what it takes. The way I see it, you've got a choice. You could spend the rest of your life wandering from place to place, trading an extra hand for a meager reward. Or you could join the Brotherhood of Steel and make your mark on the world. So, what do you say?
I'd be honored to join.
Surely with their resources, we'll be able to find young Sean.
That's what I wanted to hear. Meet me back at the police station and we'll discuss the details.
Mr. Arnold, another is already in the works.
What do you think about our relationship?
From my perspective analysis, I'd say jolly well, sir. If anyone is to change the Commonwealth for the better, it's you.
Codsworth, Piper, and Arnold all decided to head to the castle because Preston needed to retake it with the Minutemen. We all agreed to do that before we rescued Nick Valentine. We finally made it to the castle. The Minutemen were waiting for us in the small room next to the castle. And there it is, the castle in the distance.
Everyone's here, General. There it is. Pretty impressive, huh? Its real name is Fort Independence, but the Minutemen always just called it the castle. Now you can see why I wanted to take it back.
Definitely. For 600 years old, it's in pretty good shape.
That's right. They don't make them like they used to. We take this place back, people will know we mean business. Our primary objective is to clear the courtyard. That's where we should see the most opposition. The wall on this side is the most exposed. But if we circle around south, we could also reach the main gate.
What are we waiting for? Let's just get in there and shoot those lobsters.
No. If we split up, we can flank them from both sides. It'll be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Why not let them come to us? We set up a firing line on this side and you can draw them out.
Well, General, what do you think?
Set up a firing line and I'll draw them out.
Really, sir? I'm not sure that's the safest course of action. For your well-being, of course.
You can't do this alone. I'm coming with you.
Sounds good. We'll hold back and wait for them to come to us. Just don't get yourself trapped in there. All right, people. You heard the General. Let's move out. Try not to draw their attention until we're in position.
I started throwing grenades at some Mirelurks to start knocking them down. My gun worked pretty well. And then the Mirelurk Queen came out, and I started using my missile launcher at it.
I will make the Commonwealth great again.
And I finally killed it the first time, but what's this? Preston Garvey fucking died. Like, I have never seen that before in my life. It must be a mod I'm using personally. So I went to the chemistry station and looked at Liga's companion mods, which lets you travel with multiple companions. It looks like there's an immortality setting. So once I click that, I guess we have to retake the castle again. So we went back to retake the castle again because you can't really beat the game without Preston.
Hey.
Everyone's here, General. There it is.
So we started killing the soft shell Mirelurks again. This is why you gotta be careful with mods, I guess. And I set up a bunch of landmines. So I got these landmines on my second walk to the castle. On my way to the castle, there were these landmines just like all over here. And I managed to grab them all at once. So I'm gonna use these landmines to blow up the Mirelurk Queen, hopefully. And Preston's still alive. What now, bitches?
Nice night for a walk.
We need to focus on taking the castle back.
So I powered up the radio that we needed to use in the castle.
Wow, we really did it. Now we've got to pay off on what we've started. Bring the whole Commonwealth together and make it last this time. So, you know, back to business. But with Radio Freedom up and running, we can broadcast alerts to you anywhere, anytime.
Now that we retook the castle back, Preston, Piper, Codsworth, and Arnold all decided to go to save Nick Valentine. We need to fix up the castle, but we also need to save Nick Valentine because he's been trapped in Skinny Malone's basement for 2 weeks. Preston, Codsworth, and Piper and Arnold all were started to go to Nick Valentine's trapped location. We got to the Boston Common, which is pretty close to where Nick Valentine is. We got a Nuka-Cola Quantum.
Joining Skinny Malone's crew was the best decision we've ever made. Look at this place.
I still say Malone's weak.
There were these people guarding the vault entrance, so we had to kill him because this is where Nick Valentine was being hidden.
So, you're not an idiot.
My programming is infallible.
No, I didn't mean like... I could just use some help. This isn't the sort of thing I'd normally bother anyone else with, but you just seem really good with people, and I've got this issue with my sister, Nat, becoming me.
Elaborate.
I'm just terrified she's gonna start taking up like her big sis. I mean, think about the life we lead. No offense intended, Blue, but personal safety doesn't exactly seem like either of our strong suits. I can't have her ending up like her big sister, dodging bullets and running from all the people she pisses off. It's part of the reason I'm on the road so much. Part of the reason I'm here with you. I keep thinking, maybe if I make myself scarce, if I'm not around her enough, she'll cool off. She'll just go back to being sweet, innocent Nat, paper girl, an all-around upstanding citizen. What do I do, Blue?
You just love her. Family's precious. The last thing you want to do is drive them away, because you might lose them forever.
You're right. I can't risk that. Thanks, Blue. Who'd expect wandering off with a stranger to turn out this well? They really don't make them like you anymore. You're a hell of a friend, you know that?
Just friends. How?
Well, yeah. I guess, but I thought so. Unless, you know, something changes. God, did it get hot in here? But hey, thanks again for listening. It's a real weight off my chest to be able to talk it out with someone. So, you wanna hit the road?
We started fighting our way through these triggermen.
That about takes care of that.
Arnold used his Pip-Boy to get into the vault. It made it a lot easier. Thank God he found that.
The gene pool is stagnant and I am...
And then these triggermen started attacking Arnold again and trying to defend what they had. Arnold kept sneak attacking. And then we got to Nick Valentine's location.
How you doing in there, Valentine? Feeling hungry? Want a snack?
Keep talking, meathead. It'll give Skinny Malone more time to think about how he's gonna bump you off.
Don't give me that crap, Valentine. You know nothing, you got nothing.
Really? I saw him writing your name down in that black book of his. Lousy, cheating card shark, I think were his exact words. Then he struck the name across 3 times.
Ah, my knight in shining armor. Question is, why does he come all this way? Risk life and limb? An old private eye.
My son Sean is missing. He was kidnapped, but I don't know who took him or where they went.
Missing kid, huh? Well, you came to the right man, if not the right place. I've been cooped up in here for weeks. Turns out the runaway daughter I came here to find wasn't kidnapped. She's Skinny Malone's new flame. And she's got a mean streak. Anyway, you got troubles, and I'm glad to help. But now ain't the time. Let's blow this joint. Then we'll talk.
Arnold started filling up some purified water because he was running low. We needed to get out of the vault. We needed to escape with our lives. There were triggermen everywhere.
I'm not into politics. I'm into survival.
And then, with Arnold's advanced lockpicking skills, he was able to unlock this door. And not only that, he was able to unlock a master lock with his lockpicking skills.
Got it.
And there was a lot of good loot in here too. We finally made it to the exit, but there was someone on the other side.
Once we step through this door, get ready for anything.
What are you doing? You come into my house, shoot up my guys? You have any idea how much this is gonna set me back?
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for your two-timing dame, Skinny. You ought to tell her to write home more often.
Oh, poor little Valentine. Ashamed you got beat up by a girl? I'll just run back home to Daddy, shall I?
Should've left it alone, Nikki. This ain't the old neighborhood. In this vault, I'm king of the castle, you hear me? And I ain't letting some private dick shut us down now that I finally got a good thing going.
I told you we should have just killed him! But then you had to get all sentimental. All that stupid crap about the old times.
Darla, I'm handling this. Skinny Malone's always got things under control.
Oh yeah? Then what's this guy doing here, huh? Valentine must have brought him here to rub us all out?
Darla, listen to me. You have a home to go back to. You don't want to throw your life away with these thugs.
You're right! What am I doing? I've gotten all mixed up.
Darla, where are you going?
Home, Skinny. Where I should have been all this time. This is goodbye for us.
Oh, come on, Nikki. You cost me my men, now you and your friend cost me my girl?
My friend here just did you a favor, Skinny. You always did have bad taste in women. Now that she's not around to feed that temper of yours, maybe you'll see sense and let us walk. You still owe me for 2 weeks in the hole.
You smug, overconfident ass. Get out of here! All right, you get to the count of 10. I still see your face after that. I'm gunning both of you down.
Look at that Commonwealth sky. Never thought anything so naturally ominous could end up looking so inviting. Thanks for getting me out. How did you know where to find me anyway? Not many people knew where I went.
Your secretary, Ellie. She sent me.
She did? I should give her a raise. Now, you mentioned something about your son, Sean, how he went missing. I want you to come to my office in Diamond City. Give me all the details. Besides, I think you've earned a chance to sit down and clear your head.
I'll meet you there.
See you in Diamond City.
How do you feel about us?
Feels good to be out helping people, to be making a difference. The Commonwealth is in your debt.
Yeah, things all right between us.
Well, I gotta say, I like the way you've been handling yourself out here. Commonwealth's not an easy place to do the right thing, but somehow you manage.
How do you feel about our relationship?
Couldn't be better, sir. Taking down the villains of the Commonwealth, helping the less fortunate. What? It's really been quite the adventure.
That was it.
All right, then.
It was time to go to Nick Valentine's office to see what he had and what information he had about Sean and how we could get him back. So the next stop was Diamond City. Abernathy Farms was being attacked by super mutants.
I hope you're here to help.
Affirmative.
Super mutants came through a few days ago. Only a few of them, but they did a lot of damage before we managed to drive them off. It was only a miracle that nobody got killed. But I'm afraid they'll be back, with reinforcements this time. We barely held them off the first time. We'd appreciate anything you can do to help us defend ourselves.
So Arnold started adding machine gun turrets to protect it, and they started attacking. So Arnold started shooting them.
I I'm the party
Help us
pooper.
defend us. We couldn't have done it without your help. The Minutemen came through for us, and we won't forget it.
Still hoping to have that talk with you. Is this a good time?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been thinking back lately on how things were for me when we first met. It was the lowest point of my life. I mean, all my closest friends were dead. Everything I believed in had turned out to be a lie. I'd failed everyone who ever relied on me. I'd led them to Concord, and we had no hope of getting out alive. The thing is, that was actually okay with me. I was ready to die. It was what I felt I deserved. It was what I wanted.
You did your best, Preston. You can't blame yourself for what happened.
I knew it wasn't all on me, but I made my share of bad decisions along the way. I've got to live with that. My point in all of this is that, well, you saved my life. And not just by saving us from those raiders in Concord. I mean that you made me want to keep living again. I guess that sounds pretty sappy, but it's true. If we hadn't met, or if you'd killed those raiders and then just taken off, I don't know if I'd still be around. I think I would have found some way to, you know, end it. Maybe not by shooting myself in the head or anything, but just by not caring about staying alive. So I just wanted you to know that. How much our friendship has meant to me.
I'm glad you decided to stick around, Preston. The world needs more people like you.
Well, now you're making me embarrassed. I hope I didn't make you too uncomfortable telling you all that. I just felt like it needed to be said, you know? I guess we should get back to it, huh?
Arnold then went into Nick Valentine's office to find information about Sean.
Oh God, it's really you.
Well, it's hard to mistake this mug for anyone else.
You keep laughing at death. Someday, death's gonna laugh back.
Not as long as I got a few friends to back me up.
You saved Nick, this agency, and my job. Thank you.
No problemo.
Yeah? Go diving into scary pre-war ruins all the time then, do ya? Here, I know an amount wasn't on the table when you went out to find him, but you deserve a reward. Plus a little something extra. You know, if you're looking for work and don't mind putting on the detective hat, Nick sure could use a new partner.
Whoa. One case at a time, Ellie. Our new friend needs our help first. All right, let's get down to business. Take a seat. Make yourself comfortable. The devil is in the details. Tell me everything you can.
We're looking for my son, Sean. He's less than a year old. Why would anyone take him?
Good question. Why your family in particular? Why an infant? Someone would be taking on all of his care, and a baby needs a lot of it. What else can you tell me?
My wife was murdered. She was trying to keep them from taking Sean, and they just...
It's okay. You don't need to say anything more.
So, we're talking about a group of cold-hearted killers, but they waited until something went wrong to resort to violence. Well, that confirms it. This isn't a random kidnapping. Whoever took your kid had an agenda. There's a lot of groups in the Commonwealth that take people. Raiders, super mutants, the Gunners, and of course there's the Institute.
So you think this institute is responsible?
Well, they're the boogeymen of the Commonwealth. Something goes wrong, everyone blames them. Easy to see why. Those early model synths of theirs strip whole towns for parts, killing everything in their way. Then you got the newer models, good as human, that infiltrate cities and pull strings from the shadows. Worst of all, no one knows why they do it, what their plan is, or where they are. Not even me. And I'm a synth myself. A discarded prototype anyway.
Either way, I need to find Sean.
You're right. The speculation is getting us off track. Let's focus on what you saw. What did these kidnappers look like?
The woman was dressed in a hazard suit. The man had some sort of metal brace on his arm.
Maybe some kind of improvised armor? A lot of hired guns do that to look tough. The hazard suit is interesting. Not many mercs can afford something that fancy. What else do you remember about them?
One of them came right up to me. Bald head, scar across his left eye.
Wait. It couldn't be. You didn't hear the name Kellogg at all, did you?
I might have. Everything was foggy.
It's way too big of a coincidence. Ellie, what notes do we have about the Kellogg case?
The description matches. Bald head, scar, reputation for dangerous mercenary work, but no one knows who his employer is.
And he bought a house here in town, right? And he had a kid with him, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. The house in the abandoned West Stands. The boy with him was around 10 years old.
You said he lives here. He's still in town.
They both vanished a while back, if I'm remembering right. But that house is still there. Let's you and I take a walk over to Kellogg's last known address. See if we can snoop out where he went.
Security doesn't really go to that part of town, but you two should still be careful.
I always am.
But I hope it'll...
One heck of a lock. Got something to hide, Kellogg? Why don't you give it a try?
And with Arnold's master lockpicking skills, he was able to get into Kellogg's house. Arnold pressed a button that eventually opened up a hatch that had information about Kellogg.
Gwinnett Stout Beer, 44 caliber bullets, and cigars. San Francisco Sunlights.
Interesting brand. Won't lead us anywhere on its own, though.
I wonder if dog meat could pick up this scent.
Say, that's not a bad idea. Some dogs out there in the Commonwealth can track a man for miles. Why don't you go fetch him and let him have a whiff? See if he picks up the trail. Before you head out, I know this is personal business. If you have to face Kellogg on your own, just say so.
I want you with me on this, Nick.
Let's get that bastard. This is your show from here on out, okay? You say jump, I'll say how high.
Dog meat, get the scent, boy. Take me to him, boy. Take me to Sean.
So Arnold used dog meat to find the scent, so he could hunt Kellogg.
San Francisco Sunlights, Kellogg's preferred brand. All right.
Arnold, Dogmeat, and all his friends started working their way through the Commonwealth to find Kellogg, using Dogmeat's scent to hunt him. They started walking their way, hunting mole rats. And they kept pressing on through the Commonwealth and through dangerous obstacles that they had to overcome. And they finally made it to Fort Hagen.
Is this the place? Is he in here, boy?
I believe that nose has earned our pup here a holiday. He did his part, and now it's time for us to do ours.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Go on. Wait for me at home.
Arnold used his advanced hacker skills to unlock a terminal.
That's it.
Powering up.
They started attacking synths.
Area fugitive has been located. Commencing.
Working their way through attacking synths to hunt Kellogg.
I'm the party pooper.
And when Arnold unlocked a lock, Piper idolized him.
Sure thing.
Just what you said about Nat. I've been going over it again and again in my head, and what you said was right. Family's too precious. What kind of life is she gonna have if I never go near her again? It's just... sometimes it feels like the only things I've got in life are Nat and the paper. Having someone I can count on, someone like you, it's meant a lot to me. Not a lot of people want to hang around with the nosy reporter.
Yeah, but you're my kinda nosy.
You're the exception. I haven't exactly made a lot of friends in this career. I just wanted to right the things I thought were wrong. And when Nat and I first got to Diamond City, there was a lot of wrong. crooked guards, lousy infrastructure. There was a hole in the exterior wall that was patched over with a bookcase. One bookcase. That's it. I started the paper more as an act of desperation than anything else. Turned out I wasn't the only one who wanted things to change. After the first couple of editions, people may not have agreed with what I said, but everyone was listening.
Sounds like you really cleaned up Diamond City.
Well, a lot of things got done. They even put a second bookshelf over that hole, and patched it with bricks. When that first edition hit the stands, I felt like I'd finally done something worth doing. But afterwards, things changed. People didn't want to talk the way they used to. Seemed that overnight I'd gone from being Piper, friend and confidant, to Piper, the nosy snoop. A lot of folks, they haven't treated me the same since. It started to feel like the only person I could count on was my little sis.
You can count on me, Piper.
I know I can. You're not afraid of me like everyone else. I was sure that the paper would be the best thing I ever did in my life, but being here with you now I don't know. I've needed someone like you in my life for a long time, Blue. I just never expected I'd actually get them. So thank you for being the friend I can count on.
It sounds to me like you're interested in becoming more than just friends.
Oh, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I never thought about you that way. Not that I'm always thinking that way. It's just, Blue, I'm loud and pushy and constantly getting in over my head. Why would someone like you ever want someone like me?
You don't need to be flawless, Piper. You're perfect for me.
Perfect, huh? That's a new one. Well, well, I think you're perfect too. Goodness, Blue, I don't know what to say. You're everything I could ever ask for. Come on, let's not keep the world waiting.
Arnold finally made it to Kellogg, and he went inside his house.
There he is. Most resilient man in the Commonwealth. Funny. I thought I had that honor.
You're funny. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Pal, I'm just a puppet like you. My stage is a little bigger, that's all. Sean's a good kid. Bit older than you expected, am I right? But he's doing great. Only, he's not here. He's with the people pulling the strings.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Fine. I guess you've earned that much. Sean's in a good place, where he's safe and comfortable and loved. A place he calls home. The Institute.
The Institute must be terminated.
God, you're persistent. I give you credit. It's the way a father should act. The way I'd be acting if I was in your place, I like to think. Even if it is useless. But I think we've been talking long enough. We both know how this has to end. So, you ready?
It's showtime.
Combat.
Detected by order of the Institute. You must...
Place can hide.
It's not a tumor.
So, the Institute was the puppet master all along. Damn. Even I don't know where they are. They built me.
There has to be a way, Nick.
We're in the weeds here. Time to take a step back. Bring in some fresh eyes. Only person I know willing to snoop up the Institute's tail feathers is Piper, the reporter in Diamond City. I say we head her way. Talk this through.
We need help, Piper. This man named Kellogg kidnapped my son. But that wasn't all. He was working with the Institute. He gave them Sean.
The Institute. Oh boy. I've been investigating these creeps for over a year now. The Commonwealth's boogeyman. Feared and hated by everyone.
true enough.
Sometimes they snatch people in the middle of the night, and sometimes they leave old synths behind to remind us that they're out there, but to this day, there's one thing nobody really knows.
Where the Institute actually is. Or how to get in.
Exactly. But there's one person who has to know, right? The guy who just handed them Sean.
Kellogg. Huh.
Men like that would have had access, in and out.
But we both know that angle isn't going to work.
Because he's dead.
So, a murderer and a kidnapper gets his brains blown out by an avenging parent. Huh. Be a great ending if we didn't still have the biggest mystery in the Commonwealth to solve.
He wasn't going to talk, even if I had a way of bringing him alive.
Gets his brains blown out. Huh. His brains. You know, we may not need the man at all.
You're talking crazy here, Nick. Got a fault in the old subroutines?
Look, there's a place in Good Neighbor called the Memory Den. Relive the past moments in your mind as clear as the day they happened. If anyone could get a dead brain to sing, it'll be Dr. Amari, the mind behind the memories.
I hope you're right, Nick.
Let's see. I guess we're gonna need a piece of Kellogg's brain. Enough gray matter to bring to Amari and find out if this is going to work.
Jesus, Nick. Gross. Seriously?
I know it's grisly, but what choice do we have? We got no leads, nothing. That old Merc's brain just might have all the secrets we need to know.
Actually, I think I already have something. Kellogg had this thing attached to his head.
Cybernetics, huh? We may have just won the lottery.
Whether we're riding this crazy brain train or not, we can't all go running across the Commonwealth, so... who's coming with you?
I have to go to the Memory Den either way, if I'm going to introduce you to Amari. But if you want to head there together, just say so.
I'll head there on my own.
All right.
Blah, blah, blah.
We're gonna get your boy back. Just a few more steps.
Well, you two are out. I'm gonna do some more research. I'll be at the public.
Hey.
What you got for me?
Of the Commonwealth. Do not interfere. Our intentions are peaceful. We are the Brotherhood of Steel.
Know how to make an entrance. No doubt about that.
Deep into that darkness, peering. Long I stood there, wondering, fearing.
The team decided to go to the Cambridge police office because they wanted to check out the Brotherhood airship.
Glad to see you alive and well, sir.
Are we in luck, sir? Mission accomplished. We have the transmitter.
Finally, some good news for a change. Nice work, sir.
I didn't do it alone. Ayla, Reese, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the Brotherhood. He shows a lot of promise, and with the proper guidance, I think he has the potential of becoming one of the best.
Thanks. I promise not to let you down.
You don't have to prove anything else to me. Getting that transmitter was enough.
So you decided to stay, huh? I expected you to take your payment and run.
You upset that I'm staying?
Maybe. Got enough trouble stomping muties and ferals. I don't need something else to worry about.
Reese, that's enough. Like it or not, you're going to have to learn to work together. And you need to understand what it means to be a part of the Brotherhood. We're not soldiers of fortune. We're an army, and we've dedicated our lives to uphold a strict code of ethics. If you intend to stay within our ranks, you need to obey our tenets without question.
Don't worry. I've spent time in the military.
Perfect. Then there's no need to give you a long lecture, so I'll get right to the point. I only ask for two things from anyone under my command. Honesty and respect. You fall in line, you stay in line. I give you an order, and you follow it. It's as simple as that. There's one last order of business I wanted to get out of the way. I'm going to recommend you to be awarded the rank of Knight. Now, nothing's official until you speak to Elder Maxson, but I wanted you to be the first to know.
Thank you.
Thanks aren't necessary. Just continue excelling at your duties, soldier.
Ad Victoriam, Knight.
He doesn't even know what that means, Halen.
Ad Victoriam means to victory. In our eyes, defeat is unacceptable, because we're fighting for the future of mankind. Our rallying cry is more powerful than any weapon you could ever carry. Remember that. Now, I've received orders that we're both to report to the Prydwen. However, if you want to run a few ops for Scribe Halen or Knight Reese first, they could certainly use your assistance. I'll leave the choice up to you. Let me know when you're ready to mount up.
Paladin Danse.
Are you ready to head up to the ship?
Of course I am. I've never seen anything so impressive.
Takes your breath away, doesn't it? We call our ship the Prydwen. She's loaded with enough troops and supplies to mount a major offensive. If she's here, Elder Maxson's here. And that means we're going to war.
Who's Elder Maxson?
Maxson is the commander of this division of the Brotherhood of Steel. He's the model of what every Brotherhood soldier hopes to become. If we're going to war, I can promise you that he'll be leading the charge. That being said, you're about to get to know the Prydwen up close and personal. I've received orders that we're both to report to her immediately. Follow me up to the roof of the police station. We're going for a little ride.
Arnold got onto the vertibird.
100-year-old aircraft? You leave.
The Commonwealth looks different from up here, doesn't it? It never ceases to amaze me how drastically your perception of the battlefield changes from the air. We're gonna need that edge when we take on the Institute. They've already proven that they're technologically superior, which means there's no telling what types of weapons they'll have in their arsenal. Hopefully, our air superiority and tactical know-how will make the difference. Now all we have to do is find them. And I'm betting that Elder Maxson will have a plan already in place by the time we arrive.
And then they made it onto the airship.
Permission granted. Welcome back, Paladin. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you on a successful mission. And is this our new recruit?
Yes, sir. I feel promoted him to initiate, and I'd like to sponsor his entry into our rankings personally.
Yes, we've read your reports. You'll be pleased to know that Elder Maxson's approved your request and placed the recruit in your charge.
Thank you, sir. And my current orders?
You are to remain on the Prydwen and await further instructions.
Very good, sir. Ad Victoriam, Captain.
Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Captain Kills.
So, you're the one Paladin Danse has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me.
I'm a cybernetic organism. Living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
Which is precisely why I personally insist on scrutinizing every recruit who boards this vessel. I've read Paladin Danse's reports. He seems to think you'll make a fine addition to the Brotherhood. You might expect an endorsement like that to grant you a great deal of latitude with us. But let me make one thing clear. The Brotherhood of Steel has traveled to the Commonwealth with a specific goal in mind. As the captain of this vessel, I won't allow anyone to jeopardize our mission, no matter how valuable they think they are. Understood?
Affirmative.
Good. That's all for now, soldier. Your orders are to proceed to the command deck for the address. After which, Elder Maxson wishes to have a word with you. If you have any questions, ask me now. Otherwise, you're dismissed.
I don't have any questions.
Then I suggest you head over to the command deck immediately. Dismissed, Initiate.
The road behind has been long and fraught with difficulty. Each and every one of you has surpassed my expectations by rapidly facilitating our arrival in the Commonwealth. You have accomplished this amazing feat without a hint of purpose or direction. And most impressively, without question. Now that the ship is in position, it is time to reveal our purpose. And beneath the Commonwealth, there is a cancer, known as the Institute. A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface. They are experimenting with dangerous technologies that could prove to be the world's undoing for the second time in recent history. The Institute scientists have created a weapon that transcends the destructive nature of the atom bomb. They call their creation the synth. A robotic abomination of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being. This notion that a machine could be granted free will is not only offensive, but horribly dangerous. And like the atom, if it isn't harnessed properly, it has the potential of rendering us extinct as a species. I am not prepared to allow the Institute to continue this line of experimentation. Therefore, the Institute and their synths are considered enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. This campaign will be costly, and many lives will be lost. But in the end, we will be saving humankind from its worst enemy. Itself. Ad Victoriam.
Ad Victoriam.
Ad Victoriam!
I care about them, you know. The people of the Commonwealth.
If you cared about them, you'd leave them to their own devices.
Leaving them to their own devices is what reduced this metropolis to ruins in the first place. I'm a bit surprised that you don't realize that by now.
What do you want from me?
I want you to start taking responsibility for this planet. To start making a difference. And from what I've read in Paladin Danse's reports, you've already begun that journey. Seeing as he's one of my most respected field officers, you couldn't get a better recommendation. Therefore, from this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Knight. And, befitting your title, we're granting you a suit of power armor to protect you on the field of battle. Wear it with pride.
I find it adequate.
I'm certain that you will. In any event, once you're finished becoming familiar with the Pridwin and my staff, report to the flight deck for your new orders. Welcome aboard the Pridwin, soldier. Make us proud.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Sure. Ask away.
It's just, with everything that's happened with you and your family, it's a whole hell of a lot to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Huh. You're a tougher nut than I thought. Tougher than I was. Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place. Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got its flaws, sure, but it beats the hell out of anywhere else in the Commonwealth. Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still pretty fresh in people's minds at that point. And folks were still losing sleep over the broken mask. Plenty of people assumed I was just a saboteur, moving in to melt down the reactor or poison the drinking water. But at the time, they couldn't exactly turn me away.
Why'd they let you in?
Because I'd rescued the mayor's daughter. Gal of about 15. Pride and joy of the mayor back then. Man by the name of Henry Roberts. The young Miss Roberts decided she'd run off with some caravan hand she'd, known for an evening. Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I didn't even know who I was rescuing, just stumbled on a crying girl and 4 toughs. I took her home and the mayor dubbed me a hero, offered me a place in town. Lots of folks protested, said I was a spy, but he wouldn't have it. Taking up in the city was tricky at first, but I never tried to hide what I was, and people seemed to warm to that.
Was it hard settling in?
Well, they sure didn't make it easy. I started off doing the jobs no one else wanted. I got more banged up being Diamond City's handyman than I ever did living out in the ruins. But I guess folks never forgot I rescued the mayor's daughter, so they started coming to me when people went missing. Wife runs off with a new paramour and takes the rent money with her. Talk to the synth. An upset father decides moving him and the kids to Good Neighbor in the dead of night's not the worst damn idea since the bomb. Go get Nick. After a while, the jobs got so backed up, they didn't even ask me to do the handyman stuff anymore. Hell, I was so happy to do it, it was months before I started charging anyone. I never stopped being Nick the Synth, but it was Nick the Detective folks came to see. It was about then that things finally started feeling normal. It took me a long time to realize that home is where you make it. And with some time and effort, this place can be home for you, too. That's a long story, but I hope it helps. Want to get moving?
He sounds pretty delusional to me. You don't actually buy everything he's saying, do you?
You shouldn't judge Maxon on his words alone. His actions prove his sincerity. I just hope you appreciate how much of a chance I'm taking bringing you into the fold this quickly. Not to put too fine a point on it, but if you screw up, we go down together.
My mission is to protect the Brotherhood of Steel. Ad Victoriam.
Good. Now, I know you're eager to hop into a suit of power armor and take the fight to the Institute. But first things first. In order to be an effective part of the team, you need to learn your way around this ship and get to know its crew. Since I've been officially assigned to you as your sponsor, I'd recommend taking me along with you.
Come with me if you want to live.
In that case, I prefer to tag along. If you change your mind, just let me know.
Arnold got into his power armor because he knew he had to do a mission for the Brotherhood of Steel. He talked to Elder Maxon.
Take a look over there. That's Fort Strong. And it's infested with super mutants. Having those aberrations of nature close enough to smell is making me sick to my stomach. To make matters worse, they're sitting on top of a massive stockpile of Fat Man shells we could use in our campaign. I want you to head over there, wipe out everything that moves, and secure that stockpile. Understood?
The Institute. It sucks.
Look, I realize you're eager to take the fight to the Institute, but it'll have to wait. The Brotherhood cannot allow those abominations to have a nuclear arsenal at their fingertips.
Nuclear arsenal? In the hands of those beasts? Heavens, no.
Now, we have a vertibird on standby, fully armed, and ready to depart. Use it to carry our message to Fort Strong, and wipe those dirty mutants from the face of the earth. Dismissed.
And then they got onto the vertibird, ready to attack. There was a behemoth that Arnold started using his minigun to kill. They started fighting their way through super mutants that were holding artillery at Fort Strong. And they got into the Fort Strong armory. Good. Fighting their way through more super mutants. And they finally cleared out the whole room of bad super mutants.
Look at this place. You must hate these mutants as much as I do.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
I wish all of mankind shared your sentiment.
I wouldn't go so far as to say pleasure, but it is good to know they won't be bringing any harm to anyone anymore.
These monstrosities are just another example of man blindly taking a step forward, only to wind up stumbling 2 steps back. I've been fighting for years, trying to put a stop to this madness. And just when I thought we were getting the upper hand, along come the synths. I've seen what these super mutants do to people. Can you imagine what the synths would do to us if they ever got the upper hand? It would be Armageddon repeated, and maybe the end of everything that we hold dear. Look, I don't mean to bore you with my rhetoric. I just want you to understand how important these missions are.
How could synths bring about our destruction?
If the synths reached the point where they outnumbered mankind, how long would it take for them to decide we were no longer necessary? They certainly possess the capability to make more of their own kind, so we'd become expendable. And with Institute technology on their side, nothing could stop them. Not even the Brotherhood. It's a nightmare scenario almost too terrible to contemplate. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's important here is that you got the job done and secured these warheads. You should head back up to the Prydwen and talk to Maxon. I'm sure he'll want to debrief you as soon as possible. Dismissed.
Excuse me, Elder Maxon.
Outstanding work at Fort Strong, soldier.
The Brotherhood of Steel. I find it adequate.
I'm glad you feel that way, because our mission here has only just begun. In order to bring the Institute to its knees, we need to use every weapon at our disposal. I try to supply my soldiers with the best. That's why I'm giving you these. Signal grenades can call a vertibird to your location when you need aerial transport. Simply throw one to the ground, and the vertibird will hone in on the unique electromagnetic smoke it emits. Once you're aboard, use the map on your Pip-Boy to interface with the pilot's navigation system, so he'll be able to take you wherever you need.
Thank you, Elder. I'll make good use of them.
I expect that you will. Now, I'm sure you're aware that Fort Strong was simply the first step towards the liberation of the Commonwealth. An even greater task lies ahead. By now, I'm sure you've deduced that our arrival in the Commonwealth wasn't coincidental. We're here because of a unique energy reading recorded by Paladin Danse's recon team. According to our scribes, the reading indicated a level of technology that only the Institute could achieve. The moment this information came to light, our mission became clear. The Institute, and everyone responsible for the creation of the synths, must be eliminated at all costs. To accomplish this goal, we need to locate the Institute's headquarters. I've had our scribes meticulously searching the Commonwealth, but they've come up empty-handed.
Anything you need, Elder. You just say the word.
I want you to get out there and become our eyes and ears on the ground. You seem to have a vested interest in locating the Institute before we met, so I'm confident you'll travel in the right circles. If you discover a way in, I need you to report it to me immediately. Any questions, Knight?
Negative.
Very well then. Dismissed.
Arnold and his friends all decided to go to Good Neighbor to talk to Dr. Amari.
I told you, you can't walk around Good Neighbor without insurance.
Insurance?
That's right. Insurance. Personal protection, like. You hand over everything you got in their pockets, or accidents start happening to you. Big, bloody accidents.
Nick Valentine makes a rare visit to town, and you're hassling his friend here with that extortion crap? Good to see you again, Nick.
Hancock, what do you care? He ain't one of us.
No love for your mayor, Finn? I said let him go.
You soft, Hancock. You keep letting outsiders walk all over us. One day, there'll be a new man.
Come on, man. This is me we're talking about. Let me tell you something. Now, why'd you have to go and say that, huh? Breaking my heart over here. You all right, brother?
I'm fine. Thanks for taking care of him.
Good. Now don't let this incident taint your view of our little community. Good neighbors of the people, for the people. You feel me? Everyone's welcome.
Sounds like anarchy.
The best kind of anarchy. Embrace it, and maybe one day you'll call this little slice of chaos home. So long as you remember who's in charge.
Hey, Valentine.
Let's go talk to Amari.
We need your help, Doctor. I need the memories from a man named Kellogg, but he's dead.
I know it's asking for a miracle, Amari, but you've pulled off the impossible before.
Are you two mad? Putting aside the fact that you're asking me to defile a corpse, you don't realize that the memory simulators require intact, living brains to function.
Please. Nick told me you're the only one who could make this work.
This dead brain had inside knowledge of the Institute, Amari. The biggest scientific secret of the Commonwealth. You need this, and so do we.
Fine. I'll take a look. But no guarantees. Do you have it with you?
Here's what I could find.
What's this? This isn't a brain. This is... Wait. That's the hippocampus. And this thing attached to it? A neural interface?
Those circuits look awfully familiar.
I'm not surprised. From what I've seen, all Institute technology has a similar architecture.
Elaborate.
Mr. Valentine is an older generation synth. But Institute technology being what it is, the brain implant could fit him. But that's an incredible risk to take. We're talking about wiring something to his brain.
Don't worry about me, Amari. I'm well past the warranty date anyway.
I appreciate this, Nick.
You can thank me when we've found your son. All right, let's do this.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Valentine. Just sit down.
If I start cackling like an old grizzled mercenary, pull me out, okay?
Let's see here. I need you to keep talking to me, Mr. Valentine. Any slight change in your cognitive functions could be dire. Are you feeling any different?
There's a lot of flashes. Static. I can't make sense of any of it, Doc.
That's what I was afraid of. The mnemonic impressions are encoded. It appears the Institute has one last failsafe. There's a lock on the memories in the implant.
Look it up on Wikipedia.
Let me think. The encryption is too strong for a single mind. But what if we use two? We load both you and Mr. Valentine into the memory loungers. Run your cognitive functions in parallel. He'll act as a host, while your consciousness drives through whatever memories we can find.
It's showtime.
Just sit down over there, and keep your fingers crossed.
See you on the other side.
She wasn't soft, but
Remember,
she loved me
you are
in her
experiencing
way.
these memories as Kellogg.
And she
This
protected
may
me from
prove
Dad.
disorienting at first.
That cost her more than a few beatings. Dad was either drunk or not around. I guess he must have run with one of the raider gangs, but
This
I
doesn't
never really
seem to
knew
be
what
what
he
we're
did.
looking for. Try
The
that
thing
one.
about happiness is you only know you had it when it's gone.
You thought you could just fuck with us, and we wouldn't fuck with you? Just so you know, they died like dogs. And you weren't there to help them.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you. And, you'll do this all by yourself?
That's right.
We pay you when the job's done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it? So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer. Try this next one.
I'm glad you decided to meet with me.
So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed.
We do, as you can see.
What do you want?
It's come to my attention that you've been rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
I do what people pay me to do. If that's a problem for you, I could see only one way out.
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
If I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
I think I do.
Very well. B-748, initiate. Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer. One of these has got to tell us something.
Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
This is the one. Here.
Open it.
Zip over. Are we okay?
Almost. Everything's going to be fine.
Come here.
Stop it.
Come here, baby.
Give me Sean now.
Let the boy go. I'm only going to tell you once.
Talk to the hand.
Kellogg.
It's okay. One of these days, you're going to get your head blown off just barging in here like that.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Forget I said anything. So what's the big crisis this time?
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue. Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea.
Here's his file.
Wow. Some heads are gonna roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
No kidding. One of the top bioscience boys? Damn. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Okay.
X688. Ready to relay with Sean.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
Bye.
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance. Let me pull you out of there as soon as you're ready. Slow movements, okay? I don't know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before. How do you feel?
All systems operational.
That's good, but I want you to keep monitoring yourself. We have to be sure there's no long-term damage. Are you ready to talk about what happened in there?
We got what we needed. The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out.
Yes, their greatest secret has finally been revealed. But that only leads to more questions. How does it work? Where do we go next?
That scientist Kellogg was supposed to track down Virgil. We need to find him.
You're right. A rogue Institute scientist could answer all kinds of questions. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That doesn't make sense. No one goes there. Not even if they were desperate.
Why? What makes the glowing sea so dangerous?
The name says it all. Radiation. So much that nothing there could possibly live. Nothing pleasant. Navigating radioactive hazards is nothing new. But the glowing sea can kill a man in seconds. That's why it doesn't make sense. Virgil fleeing into that hell. The exposure alone.
Blah, blah, blah.
If you're going to go, be prepared. You'll need some way to combat the radiation there. It's called the glowing sea for a reason.
I'll find a way to get through the rats. Don't worry.
Good luck. And be safe. By the way, I unplugged Mr. Valentine first. Removed the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
Nick.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head. That was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
What did you say?
What? What are you talking about?
Feeling all right, Nick?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
You sounded like Kellogg just then.
Did I? Huh. Mari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over. Anyway, I feel fine, so let's get going.
We have to head into the glowing sea. Any advice?
I'm a synth, so radiation isn't much of an issue for me, but an old suit of power armor might just be the guardian angel you're looking for. That, or you could buy up all the Rad-X and Rad-Away you can find from any chem dealer who's got it in stock.
Let's get going, Nick.
Been one heck of a ride so far.
Are you going to hang out in the lobby all day again, or are you actually going to go down and do some work?
Being available to the customers is work. It's not all about cooking chems, Claire.
It's not all about sampling those chems either. Maybe if you stopped using, you could focus.
What? Where's the fun in cooking it if you ain't using it?
My mistake.
Oh man, someone new! You need some jet, man? Homebrewed, reasonable prices?
Not right now.
Hey, no worries. Next time, huh?
Before you even start, let's get to the point. We have rooms, one room specifically. Payment due up front.
Here's your money.
The room is on the top floor. When you come to the hallway, it's the last one on the right.
Excuse me.
What? No, it can't. It's you. From Sanctuary Hills, right?
Yeah, I'm from Sanctuary.
What? You don't remember me? I sold you that space in the vault. But then I wasn't on the list to get in. But you, look at you. 200 years, and you're still perfect. How's that possible?
The vault had these pods that froze us in place. I only thawed out recently.
What? Vault Tech never told me that. Unbelievable. Well, I had to get to the future the hard way. Living through the filth, the decay, and the bloodshed. Look at me. I'm a ghoul. A freak.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know this would happen.
You know, you're the only other person I met from before. Oh God. I've been so alone here. No Commonwealth settlement, once a ghoul with 200 years of Vault Tech sales experience.
Hey, you know you could head back to Sanctuary. I'll come visit. I promise.
Really? You will? Okay, I'll head over there right now. You promise you'll come visit, right? I'll see you there.
It was time for all of us to go to the glowing sea. We started traveling far. Arnold started walking towards where the rats started getting worse and worse. There were more and more mutated animals, and the rats started getting crazy. We finally made it to this irradiated city.
Approach Atom's holy ground. Why? State your purpose or be divided in his sight.
I'm here because I need your help.
Do you seek division? Have you come to merge with Atom? To be split in his infinite glory? Or do you seek to tear down his followers?
I'm looking for someone named Virgil.
Virgil? Yes, we know this Virgil. What do you want with him?
I just need some information from him.
I see. In truth, this Virgil has caused some concern. Some believe his presence is an affront to Atom. Though he came to trade with us on a few occasions, we have had little other contact with him. It was quite clear he wanted to be left alone. You can find him southwest of the crater, living in a cave. I would approach cautiously were I you. I feel he does not want visitors.
Take it nice and slow. No sudden moves. I know you're from the Institute. So where's Kellogg? Huh? Trying to sneak up on me while you distract me? It's not going to work. I'm not stupid. I knew they'd send him after me.
Take it easy. Kellogg's dead.
Dead? He's dead. Don't you lie to me.
I'm not lying. I killed him myself.
Did you? Kellogg was ruthless. There's a reason the Institute used him to do their dirty work for so many years. I knew they'd send him after me. Tried to prepare for it. But I still wasn't sure I'd make it. And so you killed him, eh? Then what do you want with me?
I know you were part of it, and you escaped. They sent Kellogg to kill you.
How the hell do you know any of that? No, it doesn't matter. I'm not going back. I can't go back. Look at me. Why are you even here? What do you want?
Relax. I just need to know how to get in there.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You want to get into the Institute? Are you insane? Never mind how nearly impossible that is. Even if you were to succeed, it'd almost certainly end in your immediate death. What reason could you possibly have for taking that kind of risk?
I'm trying to find my son. The Institute kidnapped him.
Oh no. I had no idea. I'm sorry. Yeah. The Institute has taken people from the Commonwealth in the past. If your son is one of them, I can understand why you'd want to get in there. I can help, but I'm going to need something in return.
No problemo.
All right. If I help you, you're going to do something for me. Before I was forced to leave, I was working on a serum to reverse this mutation. It could return me to normal. You understand? So if you get in there, I need you to find it in my old office and bring it to me. I think that's pretty reasonable in exchange for helping you. All right? Let's talk details. First things first. You know how synths get in and out of the Institute?
Yeah, they use some sort of teleporter.
Well. Not many know about it. Pretty closely guarded secret. You've certainly done your homework. It's commonly referred to as the molecular relay. I don't understand all the science behind it, but it works. Dematerializes you in one place, rematerializes you in another. I'm sure it sounds crazy, but it's a reality. The relay is the only way in and out of the Institute. You understand? The only one. That means you're going to have to use it. Now, have you ever seen an Institute Courser?
A Courser? What's that?
Another Institute secret. Coursers are Institute synths, designed for one purpose. They're hunters. Operations go wrong, a synth goes missing, and a Courser is dispatched. They're very good at what they do, and you're going to have to kill one.
Subject marked for termination.
Well, I suppose your enthusiasm counts for something. Every Courser has special hardware that gives them a direct connection to the relay in the Institute. It's embedded in a chip in their heads. You need that chip. But to get it, you'll have to find a Courser. Now, I don't know exactly where you can find one. They haven't sent any after me. And sitting here waiting doesn't seem like a good plan. You're going to have to hunt one down. I can tell you where to start and give you some help finding one. But you'll have to do the dirty work.
Okay, let's get to work.
Right. The primary insertion point for coursers is in the ruins of CIT, directly above the Institute. So you'll want to head there. Now, the relay causes some pretty heavy interference all across the EM spectrum. You've got a radio on that Pip-Boy, right? When you get to the ruins, tune it to the lower end of the band and listen in. You'll be able to hear the interference. Follow the signal, and it'll lead you to a courser. Then, you just have to not get killed. Not gonna lie, the odds aren't in your favor here. But if you do make it, remember what I said about the serum. I need it badly. I really do hope you find what you're looking for.
Now, it was up to Arnold and his friends to kill the courser so they could find Sean. Arnold started heading towards the CIT ruins. He turned on the radio frequency so he could find the courser. He started following the signal. He got closer and closer and he finally made it to Green Tech Genetics, where the courser was. They got inside and started shooting gunners.
Hold up. Enemy terminated.
Arnold unlocked a terminal and Valentine admired him.
I think we ought to talk.
Is something the matter? You sound upset.
What? Oh, no. We've just been traveling a while now, and I figure there hasn't exactly been equitable distribution of information. I've gotten a decent glimpse into your dirty laundry, but you still don't really know a whole heck of a lot about me. I figured I'd offer to balance the board. So, is there anything you want to know?
What do you remember about the Institute?
It's all pretty hazy from back then, but now and then I get glimpses. Life inside the Institute, they keep you isolated. A single test chamber was my whole world for years, and someone was always watching. Then one day you wake up on the other side, and that's it. They've cut you loose. Welcome to the brave new world, with such people in it.
What's with the outfit?
After I started the agency, it just seemed like the sort of thing a detective ought to wear. I got some old memories, pre-war. Faded to all heck of guys dressed like this, doing what I do. Putting on the hat and trench coat, and I figured it'd let folks know I was serious about the whole thing. Clothes make the man and all that. Guess I felt they made me the man I wanted to be.
So, who are you? Nick?
That's a question I've been trying to figure out myself for a long damn time. I know I'm a synth, authentic Institute handiwork, but I'm still mechanical, not bioengineered like the fancy synths giving everyone the willies these days. I get tune-ups now instead of checkups. But my memories, my personality, they're all lifted from some cop who volunteered for an experiment back before the war. They scanned his brain and copied it onto the hardware that runs between my ears. Don't know why they chose to make a robot based on some pre-war cop instead of a math genius or a bioengineer. Hey, maybe that's why the Institute tossed me in the garbage instead of turning me into one of their people snatchers.
That's terrible. They really just threw you away.
Sure did. It was quite the rude awakening. I remember waking up one day in a garbage heap, a body in tatters and a head full of memories belonging to a man who'd been dead for 200 years. Suffice to say, it was a confusing couple of weeks. Folks didn't really know much about synths back then, so when I finally ran into people, they mostly treated me with caution rather than hostility. But the kids, they weren't afraid. I think his name was Jim. The first person to actually speak to me after I got the boot from the Institute. My first human contact in this world. Grilled me for an hour. Once they'd seen I wasn't going to hurt anyone, the other folks in the neighborhood came out to ogle the mechanical man. It eventually turned into a pretty swell soiree. The local mechanic even gave me a once-over, free of charge. Those people, they treated me like a human being. I've been trying to return the favor ever since. It's a surprisingly rare trait out here sometimes. It's something I've noticed you got a fondness for. Part of the reason I've stuck around this long.
If you're good to people, they'll be good back. That's something I've always believed.
Couldn't agree more. Well, I expect you're about as bored as can be listening to me rattle my skeletons. We should probably head out.
Arnold kept shooting his way through more gunners. He was getting closer and closer to the courser. And he finally made it.
Come here. Are you here for the synth?
What synth?
If you're not here for the synth, then you're here for me. What do you want?
I need your clothes, your chems, and your bottle caps.
That you cannot have.
And then it looked like all of my companions were beating the crap out of that courser. That was actually pretty funny. All of the companions all together just whipped the courser down. I didn't even need to do anything.
Excuse me.
Thank you. I don't know what to say.
I'm the party pooper.
My Institute designation is K-198, but I prefer Jenny, so yes, I'm a synth, if you hadn't already guessed. I knew they'd send a courser. I just didn't think he'd find me so fast. I think I would have lost him too, but then I was captured by these mercenaries, and all this happened. Thanks again for your help. I'm gonna look for supplies before heading out, and before you ask, no, I don't need any more help. The Commonwealth is unforgiving. I need to make it on my own or I'm dead. Maybe we'll meet again, under better circumstances. I hope we do.
You're back. The glowing sea. Virgil. What happened?
I found Virgil. He has a way inside the Institute. But I need a code from a Courser chip.
A Courser chip? You fought a Courser? Oh my god. Unfortunately, I can't help you. I've worked on a lot of synths, but never a Courser. I don't know what that chip does, let alone how to decode it. But there are people who might. I work with a group that, well, they're the only ones I know that even have a chance at cracking Institute security. They're called the Railroad.
Thanks, Doctor. How do I find them?
I can't contact them directly. They usually come to me when they have a synth that's escaped the Institute and wants new memories. But I do have a code phrase, some kind of clue if I ever needed to find them on my own. Follow the Freedom Trail.
All right. I'll find them.
Good luck. I'm sorry what I have is so cryptic, but hopefully you can figure things out as you go.
It was time to go back to the castle, because we need to protect it a little more for the Minutemen.
Unfocused and far too charitable.
Ye there.
Ah, there you are. Finally. I've been waiting to talk to you.
Here I am. What did you need?
I'm Ronnie Shaw, Commonwealth Minutemen. At least I was. Back before Joe Becker got himself killed and the idiots took over.
Glad to meet you. We could use some more veterans around here.
Ah, well, you're right about that. I feel like some of these you've got still may need their diapers changed.
I'd still like to hear what you came to talk to me about.
Heard you were trying to get the Minutemen back on their feet. Thought I'd come see the new general for myself. So what's your story? What makes you think anybody even wants the Minutemen back?
The Minutemen are the good guys again. People are starting to realize that.
I've heard some good things. Wouldn't be here otherwise. Now that I'm here, I can see you really need my help.
We can always use more experienced soldiers.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But I had something more specific in mind. I'm probably the only one who still remembers this. That the castle's armory was located in the West Bastion. All of our best equipment was stored in there. Weapons, ammo, schematics, you name it. Come on, I'll show you. Ah, good. Looks like it might still be intact. Door's still sealed. Bastion hasn't collapsed. Trick now is finding a way in.
I hope you have an idea.
Of course I do. If you can't go through, go around. Let's have a look at the northeast bastion.
Arnold started placing landmines down because he heard a giant sensor bot in the background, so he wanted to be careful. Then it started coming, and he ran. And somehow he survived.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
I'll get these kids whipped into shape. Don't worry. Ah, that explains all the landmines. This is, well, was, General McGann. He had your job back when I first joined up. Must have gotten trapped down here when that sea beast attacked the castle. He did manage to keep the armory secure. I'll give him that much. Guess the uniform is yours now, if you want it. So Geezer doesn't need it anymore? Rest in peace, General. Your fight is done, and the Minutemen live on. There's no point in getting all sentimental about something that happened 40 years ago.
I have to admit, Ronnie, having artillery would help out quite a bit.
Oh, we used to rain down fire on Deathclaws and super mutants alike. It was a glorious thing. All right, grab that schematic and let's get going. Don't forget to grab some smoke grenades, too.
Arnold threw his artillery smoke grenade and ran away.
I gotta hand it to you, General. You really turned things around for the Minutemen. I never thought I'd see the day that the Minutemen had artillery support again. We should see about building them at all our settlements to expand our coverage. And Ronnie Shaw returns. She's something else, isn't she?
Yeah, she definitely knows how to take charge.
Ha! That's a bit of an understatement from what I hear. I'd heard stories about her from the old-timers, but I didn't know she was still around. The fact that she's come back to the Minutemen means we must be doing something right. I'll let you know if I hear of any settlements that need our help. In the meantime, make sure to offer help to anyone that needs it. That can only help our cause.
Arnold and his friends found this abandoned house, which he suspected where the railroad was. He found this button thing, and he started messing with it. And once he cracked the code, he was able to get in.
Stop right there. You went through a lot of effort to arrange this meeting. But before we go any further, answer my questions. Who the hell are you?
I followed the Freedom Trail looking for the railroad. I'm not your enemy.
If that's true, you have nothing to fear. Who told you how to contact us?
Dr. Ameri told me how to find you.
Very interesting. Last question. Why are you here?
I tracked down and killed the Corsair at Greenetic Genetics. Now I need help breaking the code on his Corsair chip.
You have what? This is not a joking matter.
I didn't know we were having a party. What gives with my invitation? Oh, I see you invited the Corsair killer. Nice.
Deacon, you're late. You're saying this intruder actually killed a Corsair? Single-handedly? Oh, that'd give even Gloria a run for her money.
Newsflash, boss. This guy is kind of a big deal. If you're done interrogating him, you might want to show this Corsair murdering machine a little courtesy, Just a thought.
I owe you an apology. Anyone who kills a Corsair is good in my book. I'm Desdemona, and I'm the leader of the railroad.
Hopefully we can work something out.
What you're asking for puts us in a tricky position.
Des, we need to let him in. He's got an intact Corsair chip, for God's sake.
That violates our security protocols.
To hell with that. He killed a Corsair. There's no way he's working for the Institute.
We're letting you into our headquarters. You're the first outsider ever to be given this privilege. We'll discuss the details about your chip inside.
Hey, Des. You need something?
Tom, our visitor here has a Corsair chip.
Whoa! For real? Oh man, it's been ages!
Right. Some ground rules. Tom can get you the code, but once he's done, we get the Corsair chip.
Fine. It's yours.
All right. Tom, make it happen.
We're in. Chip accessed. Just poke the analog connectors a little. What? Oh man, don't crash. Hold it together.
Memory hiccup.
Here it comes. Encryption algorithms. All right, we're still running. Oh man, they've added more decimals to the last cipher. This is gonna be... Come on, baby, show me that pattern. Where is it? Wait, they're using the same logarithmic function as the key generator. Oh man, we got lucky. I got you, you Institute bastard, I got you. All right, solve for N. Come on. Show me that sweet base number. Come on, baby. Yeah, we got it. We got the code. Let me load that onto the holotape for ya.
Good work, Tom.
Hey, yeah, but I'm not sure our luck will hold up next time, Des.
Start working on the rest of the chip. And you, I'd love to work with you more. Let me know if you're interested. But to be crystal clear, if you use that data and discover anything involving the Institute, you share it with us first.
Otherwise, our relationship will be in jeopardy.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again. You managed to get what you need?
I have the code.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a courser. How'd you manage to get it decoded?
The railroad helped me.
Oh God, those kooks. I would have expected they'd be too busy trying to liberate vending machines, or setting computer terminals free, or... Sorry. They just have something of a reputation. You're not the only one who's been busy. I did the best I could. From memory and things I've overheard through the years. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit. Here's the symbol explanation. You need to build a device that will hijack the signal the Institute uses to teleport coursers, and send you instead. You know the craziest part of the design? That classical music station. That's the carrier signal for the relay. All the data's on harmonic frequencies. You've been hearing it all along. I want to be clear that this isn't my area of expertise. I was bioscience, not engineering or advanced systems or anything.
I'm sure it'll work.
For the record, I haven't made any promises. But if you can build this device and make use of that code, you should be able to override the signal from the Institute's relay. Can you? I mean, can you build it? You have people that can help. This is a lot for one person, even you.
I've got it covered.
Good, good. Because you've got to make it in there. For both our sakes. And don't you forget our agreement. I've helped you as best I can. If you make it in there, you find that serum. It's my only hope for ever being normal. So you find it. Now go on. Take these and get to work. You do whatever it takes. Call on whoever you know to help you.
I have plans here to build a signal interceptor that can get me inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
They kidnapped my son.
Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them. We'll give you whatever help we can. Don't worry about that. Now, assuming you could build this thing, what exactly does it do?
The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out. This machine can hijack their signal and send me instead.
Teleportation? For real? Wow. That would explain a lot about how the Institute manages to operate. If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, it'd be Sturgis. I haven't found anything yet that he couldn't build or fix. I'll let you know if I hear of any settlements that need our help. In the meantime, make sure to offer help to anyone that needs it. That can only help our cause.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Here you go.
Wow. What a mess. Looks like, encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-Institute anything and still be breathing. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
I find it adequate.
Well, don't thank me yet. I think I got the gist of it, but it's gonna take some time to work out the details of some of the hairier sections. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing. Keep in mind, I can already see this is gonna take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available.
Would it be possible to speak off the record for a moment?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is difficult for me to say, so I hope you'll bear with me as I try to get through it. When you were first placed under my sponsorship, I had some serious reservations about it. Despite all that, this has turned out to be a rewarding experience for both of us. At this point, honestly, I don't feel like there's anything else I could teach you about being a Brotherhood soldier that you don't already know. It's apparent from your attitude and your actions that you intend to keep those ideals close to your heart.
I'm flattered to hear this, but I feel like there's more.
There is. I'm just not very good at these sort of things. Let me start at the beginning. I grew up alone in the capital wasteland. Spent most of my childhood picking through the ruins and selling scrap. When I was a bit older and had a few caps to my name, I moved into Rivet City and opened a junk stand. While I was there, I met a guy named Cutler. We got along pretty well. Watched each other's backs and kept each other out of trouble. When the Brotherhood came through on a recruiting run, we felt like it was a way out of our nowhere lives. So we joined up.
I'm glad you had greater ambitions than just selling junk.
Once I saw what the Brotherhood had to offer, there was no comparison. Anyway, about a year after we were posted to the Prydwen, Cutler vanished on a scouting op. It took some convincing, but I was able to persuade my CO to let me assemble a squad and search for him. It took almost 3 weeks, but we tracked his team down to a super mutant hive. Those wretched abominations had slaughtered everyone but Cutler. He should have been so lucky. The mutant bastards used their FEV to change him into one of their own kind. He wasn't Cutler anymore. I had to... It was my duty to put him down.
Are you sure there wasn't anything you could do to change him back?
The FEV effect is irreversible. There was nothing anyone could do.
You did what the Brotherhood taught you.
Then you understand why it had to be done. Ever since Cutler died, I've seen other soldiers come and go. Some were brave, some were honest. Hell, some were even downright heroic. But I'd never considered any of them to be a good friend. A friend like Cutler was. Until now. It's a good feeling, but it frightens me all the same. Having a bond with someone, then losing them. It changes you. I don't want to go through that again.
It'll never come to that, I promise.
Even though I'm well aware that you have no control over it, I appreciate the sentiment. I just thought you deserved to know how I felt. If you feel that I've overstepped my bounds, I completely understand. Whatever the case may be, I appreciate the fact that you took the time to listen.
How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
Yeah, ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. At least as much as I can tell. Until we actually try to build it, here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work. Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Do it now.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens. Hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression.
Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
I need a vacation.
Who are you?
I'm your daddy.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
I am unauthorized to answer a question if there is a high probability that my answer will drastically alter the course of time.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Your mother is dead.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Stop whining.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Sean. Now.
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been... It's good to finally meet you. After all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am... your son.
Subject identity confirmed.
Yes. It's true. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
It wasn't right, what they did, taking you from me like that.
To you, that would certainly seem true. But to the Institute, it made all the sense in the world. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
John, it's really you.
It really is. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you.
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway.
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother, she never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all it is to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, Director, why you...
I was the most qualified for the position. Obviously. I've lived my life within these walls. Dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss, but the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here, in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
Talk to the Hand.
I'm sorry to hear that. I had certainly hoped we could work together. But every man must make his own decisions. If you choose to leave, I cannot force you to stay. Understand, though, that I cannot allow you to remain within the Institute. You may have safe passage back to the relay, where you will be sent back to the surface. But from that point, you must be considered hostile. I am sorry. I must think first of the safety of the Institute. And in the cruel world that has developed, those who are not with us are against them. The elevator will return you to the relay.
I've made my choice. The Institute is now our enemy.
I always knew that day was coming. The question now is, what are we gonna do about them?
The Institute must be terminated.
I'm all for that, but we don't have any way to hit them yet. You should give Sturgis that holotape with the Institute data on it. With any luck, he can use it to find some way in. In the meantime, we can focus on building up our strength while Sturgis is working his end. No half measures. This time, when we attack, we finish the job, once and for all.
Here's that holotape you gave me, full of Institute data, I hope.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
We need a way to bring the fight to them.
Let's hope we got something we can use. Well, they sure aren't gonna fall for that teleport hijacker trick twice, even if it wasn't a smoking pile of scrap metal. All the good stuff on here is gonna be encrypted. So the first job is to see if I can crack it. After that, well, I'll have to see what I've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe.
Okay, bad news. The Institute has been scouting the castle. Looks like they're getting ready for a major attack. If they can knock out the castle, it could set us back to square one. We can't let that happen again. I've sent word for all available Minutemen to rally at the castle. We've got to win this one.
Arnold started repairing his power armor because the Institute was getting ready to attack.
Glad you made it in time, General. I guess we're about to find out if these new Minutemen really have what it takes. We've seen a lot of those Institute crow things sniffing around. Looks like they're getting ready to try to take us out. We've called in volunteers, so we aren't short of people. We'll see how these greenhorns do in a real battle. I'm feeling pretty good about our defenses, but it sure wouldn't hurt for you to take a look around and shore up any weak points you see.
This is Radio Freedom with a breaking report from the castle. Institute synths are moving on our position. This is not a drill. All available Minutemen in the area, please move in to reinforce.
The Institute started attacking the castle, but Arnold tried his best to defend it. Shooting down synths and people who were attacking the castle. It was a war zone everyone was dying. And we finally got them on the run, and we were able to protect the castle.
I guess the Institute will think twice before tangling with the Minutemen again. I hear you're working on figuring out how to hit back at those rats. I hope you find a way, and soon. I'd like another crack at them, with the shoe on the other foot this time. I think Preston wanted to talk to you. Maybe he has some good news.
It's time for us to strike back against the Institute.
I have some good news for you. Sturgis found a way into the Institute. We can launch an attack whenever you say the word.
I'll get the details from Sturgis while you get the Minutemen ready to attack.
Yes, sir.
Hey, boss. I've been hoping you'd stop by. I found you a way into the Institute.
That's great news.
I was kind of hoping there'd be something worth all the time I spent cracking their encryption. Turns out there was. One of the things in the data you stole was a plan of the whole Institute complex, including the older sections that used to be part of CIT. Turns out they're still using an old water pipe that runs out to the river. Brings in cooling water to their reactor. Its entrance is underwater, and is blocked by a security grate. Also, the whole pipe is labeled high radiation danger, but there isn't any other way in that I can find. So it's this, or nothing.
Good work, Sturgis.
Thanks, boss. I wish there was a better way. But if there is, it's not in this data. I did manage to pull the code to open the grate. So all you have to do is survive the trip. Now, as soon as you get in there, you need to access the main relay control and use this holotape to teleport everybody into the Institute.
It was time to go inside the Institute. We had to go in its sewer system. So it's right around here where you jump, and Arnold decided to jump inside. He went inside the sewer looking for the Institute. Started fighting his way through ghouls. He got into the sewer area, and I think he finally made it to the Institute. He used the tape to teleport everyone into the Institute.
Man, that was something else. I guess I'm still in one piece. Everybody else made it? Good. So this is the Institute. They could have just held out down here forever. Why'd they need to come mess with us?
They think they are better than us.
They should have read their history. That hasn't ever turned out well. In any case, here we are. No turning back now. You're gonna need this. It's a fusion pulse charge. Once it's attached to the reactor, it can be detonated remotely. You get that on the reactor, and we can trigger an explosion that'll destroy everything the Institute has ever built. Just make sure we give the civilians a chance to escape before we blow the place. We're not here to commit mass murder. We better hurry. They're gonna realize what's going on before too long.
They started fighting their way through the Institute, killing synths. And they got to the bioscience area. There were a lot of synths attacking them, but they managed to kill a ton of them. And they finally killed them all in the room.
Anyone you walk away from.
Hey there, General. Found the reactor. Looks like you need to get yourself to the advanced systems area. Only, well, it's locked. I can't override it from here. Looks like the command can only come from the director's personal terminal. You're gonna need to get access to it somehow.
I didn't expect to see you again. I don't suppose you're here because you've changed your mind.
What's happened to you? Are you sick?
Oh, don't pretend to care now. You had your chance to help me, and cast me aside instead. It's not enough that I lay here dying. Now you plan on what? Destroying everything? Tell me then. Under what righteous pretense have you justified this atrocity?
It's for the greater good. The Commonwealth deserves to determine its own fate.
Spare me You've spent time up there. You know as well as I that it's doomed. Well, none of it matters now, I suppose. You'll accomplish your task and ruin humanity's best hope for the future. The only question left then is why you're standing here. Is it regret? Or did you just come to gloat?
John, if you help me, fewer people will die. Will you?
I didn't expect to see you again. I don't suppose you're here because you've changed your mind.
What's happened to you? Are you sick?
Well, don't pretend to care now. You had your chance to help me, and cast me aside instead. It's not enough that I lay here dying. Now you plan on what? Destroying everything? Tell me then. Under what righteous pretense have you justified this atrocity?
It's for the greater good. The Commonwealth deserves to determine its own fate.
Spare me. You've spent time up there. You know as well as I that it's doomed. Well, none of it matters now, I suppose. You'll accomplish your task and ruin humanity's best hope for the future. The only question left then is why you're standing here. Is it regret? Or did you just come to gloat?
John, if you help me, fewer people will die. Will you?
Why would I ever consider helping you?
Help me, and I promise I'll protect any survivors to the best of my ability.
Very well. The terminal behind me. Enter access code 9003. That will disable some of the synths. Now go. Just leave me.
Only one shot, remember?
Enemy terminated.
Please, Dad, don't leave me here. I want to go with you.
All right, you can come with me.
Really? Do you mean it?
Yes, I mean it. Now let's get out of here.
I'm glad you are here to save me.
Let's get out of here.
All right, Sturgis. Fire it up.
Didn't leave anything behind, did you? All set to get out of here?
Absolutely. Let's get the hell out of here.
You got it. I'm gonna teleport you to the detonation site, then set it to shoot the kid here back to the castle. Now you press that button extra hard when you get there. I'll see you on the other side.
Sturgis figured this was a safe distance outside the blast radius. Whenever you want to see humanity's best hope for the future go up in smoke, just hit that button.
I can feel it wash over me. The heat, the force, the radiation, the fear. It is Judgment Day all over again. I close my eyes. I see my life before all of this, before the bombs. Everything can change in an instant. In the future you plan for yourself shifts, whether or not you're ready. At some point it happens to all of us. This wasn't the world I wanted, but it was the one I found myself in. The Commonwealth, my base of operations, ripped apart and put back together. I thought I could find my family, cheat time, make us whole again, the way we were. But now I know, that's the past. I know the world has changed, that the road ahead will be hard. This time, I'm ready, because I know war. War never changes. I'll be back.
Holy shit. That was one hell of a bang, wasn't it? So that's it. The Institute is destroyed. It's finally over. You did issue the evacuation order, right? I didn't notice in all the chaos.
Yes, we gave everyone a chance to get out.
Good. I thought so. It was just watching that explosion. I just hope as many people as possible got out. I hate that we had to do that. But they left us no choice. It was war. But now, the war against the Institute is over. The way is now clear for the Commonwealth to finally come together and build something good for the future. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows from here on out.
There are other threats in the Commonwealth. Raiders, super mutants, gunners.
I couldn't have said it better myself, General. The Institute was the most insidious threat we've ever faced. They kept the Commonwealth divided for centuries. But there are plenty of other problems left to deal with. I don't think the Minutemen are going to be out of a job for a long time yet. As much as I might wish it.
Do you know what this means?
That the Commonwealth is finally safe.
Exactly. It means no more kidnappings. No more sleepless nights, terrified your neighbors plotting against you. No more fear, thanks to you. We don't have to be afraid anymore.
They don't have to be afraid thanks to us. I never could have done this by myself.
True. But the Institute was around for a long time before you got here. Not anymore. Welcome to day one of the new Commonwealth.
So, it appears the Commonwealth is about to enter a new era of peace thanks to you.
I didn't do this for the Commonwealth. Danse. This was personal.
It doesn't matter. What you've done will be felt for years to come. It's destined to become a part of history. A tale of a lone soldier who made this land a better place. A place where people no longer have to live in fear, but instead live in peace. And even though you elected to carry out the mission with the Minutemen at your side, the end result is the same. The Commonwealth is safe, because you chose to take a leap of faith and make a difference. Ad Victoriam.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Is this a better time for that talk?
I understood, and I appreciated your trust in opening up to me like that.
Oh, good. I guess I was more coherent than I thought. It's just, I was ready to give up. I didn't care if I lived or died anymore. At least not for myself. And it was because of you and who you are that turned things around for me. I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
Well, friendship means a lot to me, too, Preston. I hope you know that.
I do. I wouldn't have said all that to just anybody, you know. I guess we should get back to it, huh?
The people of the Commonwealth slept soundly, for the greatest monster was gone. It took a lot of guts to do what you did. I know it couldn't have been easy.
It had to be done.
You'll get no argument from me. It's hard to even wrap your head around. A world without the Institute, lurking in the shadows. But that's the life the people of the Commonwealth will get to lead now. All thanks to you.
I didn't do it alone.
Sure. But we both know without you, none of this would have ever been possible. This is a brave new world you've ushered in. But I suppose it'll do.
Your thoughts?
So it ends as it began. Fitting, I suppose. If only the Institute was interested in helping improve the Commonwealth. Why none of these powerful groups want to help the actual people of the world we live in is beyond me.
The Commonwealth was safe, but there's more to be done, because war never changes.